1948, Harold Rastigan saw the huge crowds that Indianapolis drew, and thought I could bring that back at home, them kind of crowds. And thus the Darlington Raceway was created in a cotton and peanut field. The track drew its unique look because Harold promised his neighbor at the time that the track would not disturb his minnow farm. Well, the minnows have since left, but the track still retains its shape to this day. Darlington has gained the nickname Too Tough to Tame, and at times the Lady in Black, and it still lives true today. Hello everybody, and welcome to 3Y TV for the 3Y Racing League's RaceKings Cup Series for the Southern 250. I'm Tanner Sharp, and joining me in the booth is Mr. Justin Cole, and the production truck making us sound twice as good as we really look is the director extraordinaire, Carlos Acosta. Justin, Darlington is probably the last race that guys are fighting for a playoff berth want to race at with only 2 races to go. Tell us a little bit about Darlington.
Absolutely. You talked about it. Also known as the track Too Tough to Tame. Personally, I'm kind of a fan of this track. As weird as this track may be, it can be fun once you get into that rhythm, and as long as you keep it out of the wall, it should be a pretty good night for these guys. As you see Dave Wilson get into the wall there, but this track, I'm sure you kind of saw it from the overhead view. It's definitely got a weird egg shape to it. Turns 1 and 2, 25 degrees of banking in those corners, and 1 and 2 a lot wider than 3 and 4, which only has 23 degrees of banking, but that's a lot more narrow. Once you get on or get into that corner, you're gonna have to back down quite a bit more than you would in 1 and 2. But the front stretch, 3 degrees of banking there, back stretch, 2 degrees of banking. This track just a little bit under a mile and a half, 1.3 miles this track is, and this track can bring out a lot in a driver. It can bring out some tempers, it can bring out some aggression, and for a lot of these guys trying to fight for their last chance, this before tonight, going on to Richmond, a lot of these guys on the bubble are going to have to fight for everything they have if they want that shot at the playoff.
You mentioned the words tempers, aggression. I think you and I know a little bit about that because you and I have some history here far as being running into each other and trying to go for a pass, because they do say at times, do not race your competitors, race racetrack. And today, these drivers will be racing the racetrack today for sure, because Darlington, as you had noted there, Justin, it is it's a narrow racetrack, and practically in all corners of the track. It gets even more narrower down in turns 3 and 4. And I do want to bring up one more topic about this racetrack, is pit road can be difficult. Here's the reason why, is because you're not entering pit road by turn 4. You technically need to slow down on the back straightaway and get all the way towards the inside wall so you can reach pit road. This is probably one of the hardest pit roads to get on, probably with the exception of Dover. And that's just my opinion of it, of course, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and check out the point standings, or should I say the playoff grid entering this race. Cameron Rich, as you will see, is on top of the board with 5 wins with 22 playoff points. But what I'm really looking at, and I've been looking at the last couple weeks, been monitoring it to see how drivers are doing, is that playoff cutoff line. Chad Brown has 20 points ahead of that cutoff line, and he's ahead of Mike Stevens, who's 20 points back. Wade Lear is 25 points back. Realistically, that is a lot of points to make up in a 3-wide RaceKings Cup Series event. So in my opinion, with 2 races to go, I understand it's a tough track, but you have to go for broke and try to win a race to get your butt into the playoffs if you want to be a contender for that championship. What are your thoughts, Justin?
Oh, absolutely. And with only these 2 tracks remaining are probably the most difficult on the circuit. Richmond can be difficult at times as well, but we're going to talk about it a whole lot, about how difficult this track is tonight. And Tanner, what's going to make it even more difficult, it's going to be an extremely long night. 183 laps tonight, and with you riding right against that wall, it's just begging for you to make a mistake and possibly take yourself out of the chance either to get more points or that shot at the win.
I'm another reason why I'm such a huge fan of this race too, Justin, is that it's the only race out of the entire season where you get to drive a actual NASCAR retro paint scheme. I do believe it's pre-2000s, so you will see some familiar paint schemes out there on the racetrack. I'm actually seeing quite a few of them at the moment, but you got any favorites?
I will say the number 5 of Sam Close is my current favorite. Just, those old school colors just really I really enjoy those, whether it's on a car. I've seen a couple where they're on like an old style 18 wheeler, but those cars are really cool. And Tanner, I don't know if there was a rule about it or not, but I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing the Rainbow Warrior out here tonight.
Yeah, man. There's not a Rainbow Warrior, and usually that's all our production or our director. Our director usually drives a 24 car or a Rainbow Warrior scheme. I am seeing a Miller. I am seeing a John Deere. That used to be the Chad Little days, so I'm seeing Brent Miller in that. My favorite, I'm sorry, Paul's a great guy, but he's driving that old retro kind of Mountain Dew-like paint scheme. That's going to be pretty cool. So, but speaking of drivers here, let's check out the lap times here. They're the fastest lap time is 28.1. They're in the final minutes of practice. Then they're going to take 10 minutes and go to a driver's meeting and then qualification. So far, Cameron Rich has shown he's got the speed, he's got the car to beat. So far, sitting on the speed charts. Kevin Finn, Tate Lytle, Peter Short, Chuck Sweeting. Tate Lytle's been fast. I don't know what you think there, Justin, but Tate's just been on a roll. He did win Pocono, I believe, earlier this season. Actually, what was that, a week ago, or was that our last race was Pocono? No, that was a while ago. But man, he's been showing some speed. Chuck Sweeting's another driver that's been showing speed as well. Levi Zielinski, he made a Twitter post earlier stating that, and he takes out Peter Short, the number 33 there, Short. Oh, nice 7-up paint scheme. That's cool. Anyways, Levi Zielinski, he's only got 20 laps away until he leads his 1,000-lap sled in just the lead in hole. So pretty cool for Levi if he can accomplish that today. But he's got to beat Cameron Ridge in order to do it. But we talked about Mike Stevens. Look at that. He's showing he's got some speed. He's sitting in the top 10 in speed charts. So what are your thoughts on Mike Stevens as we have 2 races to go?
Well, you mentioned it before. 20 points is going to be quite a bit to make up here with tonight and then only a race to go after that. But, Mike's kind of struggled a little bit to find that momentum to try and, get into that groove and make it to the end of these races. And it's kind of shocking because towards the beginning of the season, it seemed like he got in quite a good groove and was finishing, closer to the top 10. And it was a nice refresher to see with Mike. But he's definitely got some work to do here tonight, and if he doesn't get a good result here tonight, he's going to have quite a bit more work to do come next week.
Yeah, Mike has only had 3 top 10s out of the entire season so far. At least that's what I'm reading on my stat sheet. Actually, his last top 10 finish that I am reading, oh gosh, no, actually, I take that back, excuse me, 2 top 10s on the season. His last top 10 came at race 2 at Atlanta, so he's averaging a 13th place finish this season. So I thought at times he was pretty good, but he's had some good qualifying starts, such as back in Iowa, qualified 5th, 5 Flags, he qualified 4th. So, I mean, hopefully he can show some speed today and get himself closer. Even if he doesn't win today, he can probably knock that down and try to catch Chad Brown for that final playoff spot. But practically everybody else ahead of Chad Brown is technically locked in. I don't see him getting knocked out of the playoffs whatsoever. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as the race goes on. I would do the grid walk right now, but the drivers' meeting is going to be starting up, and I don't want to talk to drivers during the drivers' meeting. But is there any other drivers within this field today? Because I'm showing about over 20 drivers that are going to be starting this race tonight. 25 drivers in total, actually, as what I'm counting here. So is there any driver that sticks out to you that, other than being fast, is there a driver that's been sticking out to you as of late?
Well, within, I guess, the locked-in portion, Johnny Thomas, he's shown some good speed so far this season. And the one guy that kind of surprised me the most, Sam Close, hasn't been able to get that victory yet. Obviously, we have 2 races to go until the playoffs, but kind of surprised he hasn't gotten a win yet. He's definitely shown the speed it takes to get into those playoffs and get to those final rounds, but a little bit surprised he hasn't visited victory lane yet.
Yeah, it's shocking. I'm trying to find out here, when was Sam's last Cup Series victory? Actually, when was his last victory overall? I'm just going to try to find that out here in a split second. I am reading his last win in the 3-wide series, or 3-wide racing league in a whole, was the truck race back in April at Bristol.
Wow. Okay. Like I said, definitely got the speed to make it to those final rounds, as well as his teammate Luis Salmaso there in the 4. He's shown some good speed as of late, and looking like 3Y or 3OG as a whole is looking pretty good as we start to head off into these playoffs.
It most definitely is, and let's talk about those playoffs here because we have Richmond coming up next week on August 13th. That's 200 laps. That's one of my favorite short tracks, as the league knows as a whole, with my success there. But we're going to start the playoffs not in Chicagoland Speedway this year, which I kind of like. It's going to be the Milwaukee Mile, going to be the start of the playoffs. Then you got Watkins Glen and Dover. That's going to be a very tough round, and I think another tough round is going to be there'll be a playoff elimination cutoff, which means 9 drivers are going to remain out of the 12 that started. You go to Talladega, Martinsville, and Texas. I don't know which round is going to be the hardest, really, because then you have another playoff cutoff, which is going to be 6 drivers remaining. That's Chicagoland and Phoenix, and then the 3 drivers are going to remain in Homestead. You look at as all the races I just read off. What do you think is going to be the toughest as far as the playoffs?
Well, in terms of rounds, like you said, it's kind of difficult between the first and second round. I'd have to say Talladega, or the second round probably is going to be the toughest for these guys, with Talladega not really knowing, what's going to happen there, as well as Martinsville. That can be a bit disastrous for some guys as well, and Texas is kind of your breathe in, breathe out moment, as that track's not all that complicated, but can still be pretty difficult as well. But these whole playoffs in general are kind of structured in a way where you don't really have a whole lot of time to relax, and each track is going to get more and more tough as you go along.
That 9 drivers remaining playoff ordeal, because 12 drivers are going to start the playoffs, and then the second round, 3 drivers will be eliminated, which will get cut down to 9 drivers. At Talladega, Martinsville, Texas, I agree, is going to be the toughest round, because Talladega, it's a lottery the way it is. Martinsville, I'm going to say that's a lottery as well, because that's such a short track. Anything can happen there. We have seen it so many times in the series. So I'd say if you're going to try to get prepared, keep your speed up like Cameron Rich has been doing. He's been doing it week in, week out with his speed. Right now he's shown on top the fastest on the speed chart. So otherwise, this is a throwback weekend. One of the only times you can run a throwback paint scheme, or an actual NASCAR-based paint scheme. Otherwise, each driver would have to race their own style of paint scheme, which I like because it gives a lot of people character in this series. But this is one of my favorite races of the season. Somebody's going to get a Darlington stripe. There's no doubt about it here tonight. No, I'm already seeing tons of them in practice. Let's talk about track conditions, though. Here is the track temperature is 90 degrees, 101 track temp. But the longer you run out there on a line, the more that track temperature will heat up. Your experience in a Cup car at Darlington on a warm track there, Justin, what's it like?
Well, it's been a while since I've been in a Cup car at Darlington. I think my last time here was probably 2016, and it was a bit of a struggle there. But yeah, these guys mentioned, I know you mentioned it before, talking to some of these guys before we went live. They're feeling loose conditions, and obviously that track temp isn't going to help it at all. See Cam Rich trying to practice pit road here. You mentioned how difficult it was going to be. But definitely think that this track overall, for some of these guys, it can be difficult to begin with, and add in a loose condition and a 101 track temp. I think that's the temperature it was here in Southern California today alone. So it's going to be difficult for these guys, and really going to test their skill here tonight.
All right, I'm gonna ask the director right now. Would it be all right if we did? Is it cool if we did the grid walk right now, or should we wait? All right, let's go ahead and do the grid walk. Let's hop down into Shake and Bake Motorsports, Matt Hackathorn and Mike Stevens. All right, hey, Mike Stevens, you got a copy there, buddy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, we're doing the grid walk, man. Got one question for you. What's it going to take to get you into the playoffs tonight?
Patience. Patience is what it's going to take.
All right, Justin, you got anything?
Well, we heard some guys talking about how loose this track's going to be here tonight. How are you feeling about it?
I'm in the same boat with them. It's pretty loose out there. I mean, it seems like the Highline's got a little bit more grip than anywhere else, but I feel like as it rubbers in, it's going to probably go away.
All right.
All right. Well, best of luck to you guys. And oh, hi, Matt.
Hola.
All right, let's go up to the Pilots Party Group. Hey, Pilots Party Group. Chad Brown, you got a copy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
All right.
All right, hey man, you got a 20-point gap ahead of that playoff cutoff line, man. It looks like you got a comfortable position so far heading into Darlington. How are you gonna maintain that tonight?
I don't know if it's comfortable at all heading into Darlington, but we're just going to run our race like we run them all year and let the points fall where they may.
All right, Justin, you got anything?
Well, you mentioned it. Yeah, it's not going to be very comfortable at all. We go into Richmond as well. Are you going to be able to get that win should you need to be?
I think we'll run okay at Richmond. Of course, it's going to be similar to Darlington. I think there's going to be a lot of action, and you're going to have a little bit of luck on your side and avoid everything. Then these next 2 weeks is going to be pins and needles.
Absolutely. All right, Tanner.
Yeah. Hey, Dave Wilson, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Are you driving your VR headset?
Yes, I am.
Can I borrow it sometime?
After the trouble I had with it tonight, I almost was about to give it away.
Oh, well, if you do give it away, I might be lined up for it. All right, best of luck to you guys.
Thanks.
All right, we got a couple more minutes here. Let's go over to Team Blurry. Let's see how they're doing. Hey, Team Blurry, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
Hey, you guys are trying to get up there on the speed charts as far as the practice speeds. Qualifying's coming up. How's the car handling for you guys here tonight, and what's it going to take for a good finish here at Darlington?
Like shit, and I don't know, the Rapture.
That's what I thought he said. Okay, Justin, do you have anything, buddy?
Well, you guys got some good-looking cars. What's the lookout for tonight? Got some good cars to get to victory lane tonight?
Nah, probably not.
All right, well.
All right, let's go over to JTR here. Good best of luck in Blurry. Hey, JTR, how's it going?
What's up, Tanner?
Johnny, are you going to continue to finish in the top 10 again, or are we going to get a win tonight? What's going on here?
I don't know. I think the old chicken pit car has speed. I don't know. Maybe get a win.
Oh, man, you're making me hungry now, buddy. I want some chicken now.
Get some fried chicken.
Yeah, how's the rest of the team going here? We got Kyle Hanshaw here, Tate Lytle. Tate, you're fast, man. How's it going?
It's going good.
You going to go back to victory lane?
Sure hope so. We'll give it a run.
All right. Hey, Justin, Wade Lear's in here. We got about 30 seconds, or 20 seconds.
Hurry up, Tanner. Let's go.
Yeah, playoff cutoff. Wade Lear, you got a copy? Oh, he ain't here. All right.
Oh, no.
We're going to the bathroom, or not the bathroom, but we're going to the booth. Best of luck.
Have fun.
I love good wine.
Oh, basically the same thing, right?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking
Oh,
that.
man.
All right. All right, now, Justin, practice is over with. Qualifying's on. You got to put in your best speed in. Are you going to be fast on the first lap, or you got to be fast on the second?
That's a great question. Really, I think you got to look out for that wall too. We know if you touch that wall, it's going to DQ your lap. So,
yeah.
I don't. That's the $1 million question, I suppose. And really, starting at the back here, I don't see a huge benefit as well, because these tracks or these corners are so narrow, as well as the front and back stretch. Really not going to be safe anywhere here.
Man, you talked about it. Not going to be safe anywhere here. Let's just say you're not showing the speed like you want, right? Do you still want to go ahead and make a qualifying lap, or do you just kind of want to ride in the back? But if you ride in the back, you can probably be lapped within the first 25 laps, huh?
Trust me, I've been there, yeah. Like you said, just... I guess at this point, I'd qualify it just to see where I shake down, and, I guess if you're not feeling too confident, there's always the option of starting from pit road, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. This is going to be a pole award, the Drive Force Suicide Prevention pole award.
I can say with much confidence as well, you definitely don't want to start from pit road. I remember a few years ago, me and Michael Skinner tried that, and we're lapped within the first 10 laps, I think, so don't do that.
Holy moly, there's a name I have not seen in such a long time in the 3-Wide Racing League. Justin Krasinski making a start here tonight at Darlington. I do believe I just seen his name. Who is he driving for?
He is driving the 48, I guess, filling in for Nathan Velez.
Nathan Velez. That 48 gave it away, and I wasn't paying attention to it. So right now, Krasinski's on top of the board with a 28.19, a faster lap time than what Cameron Rich drove in practice. I don't know where it is. We've seen it in numerous weeks, Justin. Maybe you can help me out with the explanation. Is qualifying times always faster than the practice times, even though you can't do anything to these cars because every single driver is driving the same setup?
It almost seems like that, right? I don't know if the track temp did cool down a little bit, 2 degrees. It went from 101 to 99, so that might play a little bit of a factor as well. But I guess you're also kind of driving even harder in qualifying, I guess.
And a new top person, Cameron Rich, and I tell you what, I'll go back to Krasinski. He got two tenths right off the bat on his qualification time, and Cameron Rich gains a tenth from his practice time. So far, I'm seeing Chuck Sweeting in 3rd place. Oh, and I love Sweeting's paint scheme, the Gray Ghost. Damn close, sorry. Got distracted by paint schemes. Everybody practically gained a tenth. How about Jordan Teal, number 33, gained 3 tenths off his time in practice. Ran a 28.2.
I was going to say in the top 5 just got bumped out by, I believe that was Tate Lytle. So he is down to 6 now, but
everybody with the exception of Paul Ross has gained at least a tenth or more on their lap time. That's crazy.
Quite impressive. And Hanshaw just got the wall. I was going to say, it's impressive to see if these guys can be able to keep it out of the wall. I guess turn 2, I'd have to say, Tanner, really sneaks up on you on the at the most. Turn 4 can kind of do that as well, but it almost seems like you're good off turn 2, and then all of a sudden you pancake the wall.
Before the dynamic tracks came out on iRacing, you always had to breathe the throttle to get the car settled so you can have that run off corner number 2. Just like get off the gas for like maybe a second or 2, probably more likely a second, and you can just gun the throttle and you won't hit the wall. Now with his dynamic tracks, it plays a little bit different. You technically have to treat turn 1 and 2 totally different than 3 and 4. All right, well, qualification is almost over, about 40 seconds left. So far, 15 drivers have taken a qualification time right now. Seeing some pretty fast guys out there. Cameron Rich looks like he's the man to beat here tonight at Darlington. Tate Lytle, he's shown he's got speed, only a tenth off of the time of Cameron Rich. So we'll see how all this will play into race trim. And by the way, I am seeing a GM Good Run Service Plus Chevrolet, or not Chevrolet, a Toyota. That don't look right. But anyways, from Tate Lytle. Sorry, Tate, but it's a good looking paint scheme. Krasinski's in 3rd. Let's see, last driver to take qualification time was Kyle Hanshaw. 5 seconds left until qualification is done. And then we can confirm our pole winner. And there we have it. There we go. Congratulations to Cameron Rich for the Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award. I do believe he gets $1 for that. Put it in his piggy bank or something. Whatever he has. Nonetheless, let's go. I think it's safe to say to go to the starting grid here at Darlington. All right, good job, Marlins. Thanks, Carlos. All right, sitting on the pole for the Drive for Suicide Prevention, Cameron Rich. Congratulations to him. Tate Lytle's going to start in 2nd place. Justin Krasinski will start in 3rd. He's replacing Nathan Velez here tonight. Hopefully all is well with Nathan. Chuck Sweeting will start in 4th, and rounding out the top 5, Sam Close. Jordan Teal in the 33.7 Up Ford is going to start in 6th. Paul Ross will start in 7th. Wade Lear will start in 8th. Luis Salmaso is going to start in 9th place, has yet to grid up yet. And rounding out the top 10, Kevin Finn. Justin, you can take the next 10.
All right, Matt Hackthorne going to start E11 here tonight. Johnny Thomas will start 12th. Chad Brown will start 13th. Drew Eisman 14th. Kyle Hanshaw will start 15th. Peter Short 16th. Yeah, no time on that car. I guess some of these guys didn't take times. Levi Slinsky going to start P17. Dylan Hickey P18. David Wilson will start 19th, and Richard Hines will start in the top 20.
Blackjack position, Brent Miller in the John Deere Chevrolet. That's the, looks like the old Chad Little paint scheme. Pretty cool to see out on track. Corey Lindsay is going to start in 22nd. Mike Stevens back in the pack, does not take qualification time. He'll start 23rd. Let's see how patient he can be. Nick Miller in 24th. And rounding out the top 25 drivers who are going to start tonight's event is Steven Ketman. Get one pace lap around Darlington Raceway. Final thoughts before we go green, Justin.
Well, this track's going to be tough, and it's going to be tough with the 183 laps we're going to have to run tonight as well. These guys are going to be wore out before the night's over. I'd have to, make a strong assumption. This track's so difficult, and only 2 races to go until the playoffs. These guys are going to be fighting hard to get in.
Pace car is going to make a hard dart left to pit road, and it's going to be all Cameron Rich. He can go at any time the pace car leads, cannot change your lane before the start-finish line, and we are green flag racing at Darlington Raceway.
No surprise there. Cameron Rich, a great start there, and now the fight's on for a second.
Oh man, I don't know if you ever want to go too wide down in these corners at Darlington. This is a racetrack where you have to give and take a little bit. I am still looking throughout the field here to see who's going to whack the wall for turn number 2. So far, everybody gets turn 2 nice and clean. Cameron Rich down turns 3 and 4. That's 23 degrees of banking coming off turn number 4, and he will get a bonus point to his credit for leading the very first lap of the race.
Pate Lytle's got some momentum off turn 4 there, and will get the spot on the 48 of Justin Krasneski there. He'll get to second. Krasneski back to third, and Chuck Sweeting right on the back bumper of Justin Krasneski.
Second, third, and fourth place, Tate Lytle, Justin Krasinski, Chuck Sweeting, nose and tail. Everybody else is kind of battling, trying to battle for position. There is a 2-wide battle back here. Wade Lear's actually into the wall. He just got passed by the number 14 of Kevin Finn. So far, no harm, no foul for the 03 of Wade Lear. He's just trying to drive a comfortable race at the moment.
Pretty quickly, all single file through 1 and 2. Mentioned before, it's the 03 is going to hit the wall. The 4 of Luis Salmaso going to get into the back of him. That's going to check everybody up just a little bit there, but it looks like they all settle down.
Wade Lear has already put a couple stripes onto the wall. Too bad we don't have actual stripes here on the simulator. I would love to see that. But right now, but here's the replay of what just happened off of turn number 2.
Tap there, and obviously that's not going to be the last time we're going to see that here tonight. It's going to be quite a few drivers fighting with that turn 2 wall.
I am seeing some damage on that number 4 of Luis Salmaso. It looks like a Kodak paint scheme to me. That's actually brings a lot of memories. Tons of drivers. There's actually some battling in the back of the pack. Let's see if we can capture them. That is Kyle Hanshaw getting by Chad Brown for position.
You mentioned the damage on Luis Salmaso, and I don't think it's going to affect him too much here, but it's going to be, I think the damage is mainly going to be caused by hitting the wall too much, and that's going to cause some suspension damage at some point, if you hit the wall enough, that is, and obviously then your night's going to be made even tougher at that point.
You know, I commented at the top of the show here this evening that Justin, you and I had a run-in here quite a few years ago here at Darlington, and you were mad at me, and I totally understandable. But my point is that how is it, when do you know when to pass a driver and when you know not to pass a driver, and when you know you're going to make contact with that driver? I mean, is there a lot of give and take here, or do you just try to protect your position as much as you can? What do you do to pass here at Darlington is practically where I'm trying to get at.
Well, I think we caught it there with the 77 and 44 going at it. Really, what we just saw Drew Eisenman do, just kind of did it perfectly in 3 and 4 there. Just get a little bit of a nose underneath, and he was able to make it stick there. What seemed like Matt Hackathorn kind of checked up a little bit, but it's going to be a bunch of give and take here tonight. Really, you got to know how far into the corner to drive it in, and if you can make that, if you feel like you can confidently make that pass, try and stick it in, but if you know that it's not going to work, at that point you're going to have to let off and try again at another time. But give and take going to be huge here tonight, and I guess that's really going to come down to respect as well, knowing that if you can't make the pass, don't even try.
Wade Lear has been tearing down the walls the last 2 to 3 laps. He socked the wall in turn 2, and we got a driver down pit road. Even Kettman, he's found the wall. And now he's taking it to the garage. That's very unfortunate for Steven Kettman. Brent Miller by himself. He's about 14 seconds back from the race leader, Cameron Rich.
I thought he was about to sock that wall again off turn 2. Got a little bit loose there. He's actually going to graze the wall in 3 and 4. A little bit.
There is a halfway bonus here. You got to keep that in mind. We did not mention it, but there is a halfway bonus, which is on lap 92. Top 10 drivers will get paid bonus points. And by the way, if you go down 6 laps, you have to park it behind the wall, and you're done the rest of the day. And the 03 again, Wade Lear into the wall. Man, Wade Lear, man, but he hasn't lost a lot of position. He's been losing position since the start. He's currently in 12th right now after starting 8th. Driver on the move. There's a couple cars ahead of him. That is going to be the number 22 of Peter Short. Started 16th, already cracked the top 10. Another driver on the move is Kevin Finn. Oh, we got trouble.
Oh, Wade Lear into the wall once again. And he looked like he really got it there. And
yeah.
Tanner, I think you and me can talk about this quite a bit. This track is so rhythm-based, and once you get out of that rhythm, it can be so hard to get it back. And I feel like once he got into that wall and made contact with Luis Almaso, that's when he lost his rhythm and really just hasn't been able to get it back ever since.
And these guys are really wheeling and dealing it coming off of turn number 2. And yeah, exactly. Track position is probably the most important key figure at a track like Darlington, because so far we have not seen our first yellow yet. We have completed 12 laps in this race. So if we do see green flag pit stops, you will see a difference between old tires and new tires on how they're just going to fly by past a driver. But keep in mind as well, the track will heat up as the race goes on. Oh, somebody towards the apron on the backstretch. Who was that? That Paul Ross?
Yeah, he's already diving down pit road, it appears.
Oh, he's already slipping, sliding towards pit road. Can he make it to the pits? Looks like he will. He's already...
Oh, he's got some good damage on that car.
We have a replay of it. Oh, driver crashing on pit road, I believe. No, Wade Lear. He's spun out.
And he has brought it to his stall, and that's going to look like put an end to the misery for the 03 here tonight.
He was far enough below on the bottom side of the racetrack where it's not going to bring out a yellow flag, and he has towed it to the pits. So we will remain green flag racing here in Darlington. Now an update on Paul Ross. He has brought down pit road. He's getting tires on that thing and a lot of damage. He has clocked the wall trying to find out. And actually he's taking it behind the garage. Yep.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think we had a replay, but I know we had talked before that Paul had some wheel issues. I don't know if that's maybe what caused it here tonight, or maybe just got loose at an extremely bad time. But the good news for Paul is he is well into the playoffs with 3 wins, so tonight wasn't a huge loss for him, but I know he definitely wanted to make it to the end and try and get as much points as possible.
Yeah, just say forget this race. We're going to move on to Richmond. We're going to focus on Richmond, and then we're really going to focus on the playoffs. That should be the mentality at this point for Paul Ross. Nonetheless, kind of looking throughout the field, everybody kind of running single file at the moment. Peter Short, I just talked about him not too long ago. He started 16th. He's already moved himself up to 8th place since the drop of the green flag in the first 16 laps. So Peter Short has been on the move. Everybody else is kind of remaining single file. There's kind of a gaggle of cars on the front straightaway with Kyle Hanshaw on Brack. They're just riding single file. Hanshaw, Brown, Wilson, and Hines, all these guys single file racing at the moment. And I believe Hanshaw hit the wall.
Oh, there goes, who was it? The 64 Chad Brown around on the back straightaway.
Oh, no, Stevens is involved.
Oh.
No yellow flag.
They're far enough down. We got cars all over the place here. If I was an admin, I'd call a caution at that point. I'd have to believe someone got into the wall, is what I saw. Yeah, the 64... What was it, the 46? That got into the wall and checked everybody up.
Hanshaw got into the wall, I believe, and they were all nose to tail, and they just checked everybody up, and somebody tried, like, darting the car, and it just got loose.
Yeah, the 46 got into the wall, which checked up the 64 and into the back of them, and nowhere to go at that point for the 39 of David Wilson there.
Oh, man. Oh, Stevens, man. I'm looking at the same screen you are, Justin, and oh man, he just punted the 64 of Brown. But again, those are kind of the moments you're coming off turn 2 and you hit that wall, it just stops you. Just an automatic stop, and you really can't do too much about it.
Well, for the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw, he keeps on going. We do have a car coming down pit road. It's the 63 of Mike Stevens to repair that damage.
Oh man, the silver bullet is looking like a crunched bullet.
David Wilson had brought it to pit road as well. Chad Brown looks like he's still out on the racetrack, a lap down though, unfortunately.
So practically since Chad Brown remains on the track, and he is a lap down, keep that in mind, but Stevens is in the pits, everybody below that cutoff line in the play that's trying to get into the playoffs is a must-win situation for them entering next week. Cameron Rich getting very loose off of turn number 2. He still leads the race. He's got about a 3-second lead over Justin Krasinski in the number 48 car. That Tide machine, the old Ricky Craven car. Driving forward, Nathan Velez. Stand close. Tip my hat to him. He's having so far a solid race right now. Currently sitting in the 3rd spot. About 4 seconds back from the race leader, Cameron.
You know, it's crazy to think that we're only 22 laps into this race. We've had so much action in that short of a time that it almost feels like we should already be past halfway as the 56 just barely taps the wall.
I do want to... Oh, we got to... Okay. Yeah, just barely tap the wall.
Peter Short can be able to take advantage of that small momentum loss as well. Got a good run off turn 2, and we'll take that 7th spot, or that 6th spot, excuse me.
Man, I talked about the top of the show. Darlington's the last place you want to race at before entering the playoffs. And it has shown tonight.
Luis. Oh, the 33 of Jordan Teal just about climbed the wall, exiting turn 2 there.
Yikes.
Got that wall good, and we'll lose 2 positions because of it. Just about to mention that, it looked like Luis was about to have his hands full with Drew Eisenman. He had a weird entry into turn 1 because he was about to, or he was going to try and set up a pass on, I believe it was the 56 of Pate Lytle there. Looks like everybody's sort of settled down for now. Well,
ooh, Lytle, he's seen the wall here tonight. Either that looks more like contact with another driver. That's gonna. How sensitive and important are the aerodynamics at Darlington, Gustin?
I don't think they're too big at all, if we're being honest. But oh, there's 59 of Levi Zielinski around on the front straightaway here.
No caution.
The 64, Chad Brown into the wall as well, just in front of Luis Salmaso here.
Man, at this point, you're thinking, man, has the cautions even turned on for this race? But yes, they are. Yeah. That's considered off track.
Yeah. Levi didn't even get the wall off turn 4 there, just real loose. Spun it around and...
Oh, the 33 around again! Jordan Teal!
Well, who?
Man, I tell you what, he didn't even hit the wall. He just got loose. I mean, he hit the. If anything, he hit the back end of the car with the wall. But actually, I don't even think he made contact with the wall.
Man, oh man, we're only, like I said, 27 laps into this. This is these tires definitely showing their wear here early. As I believe we got a report earlier that it's going to be about 50 laps on fuel. I think the 33 just got the wall again. He really had to yank it left to keep it out of the wall. But you mentioned damage earlier, Tanner. Well, for the 33, I think at this point he may have something suspension-wise, at least at that.
Oh, Sam Close and Krasinski both, I mean, fishtailing it off the corner of turn number 2. Didn't hit the wall or anything. Man, Sam has been closing in on Justin Krasinski, and good Lord, those two were just sideways. Go ahead about the damage here, Justin, that you were saying.
I was going to say, Arrow, I don't think it's going to be too much, but we've already seen quite a few guys hit the wall pretty well here tonight. I think that's where you're going to find most of your problems is, wow, oh my goodness, Sam Close about drove it into the rear bumper of the 48 of Justin Krasinski. What a run he got in there. But yeah, Arrow-wise, Krasinski's just going to let Sam go there, but Arrow, I don't think is going to be the problem here tonight. I think it's going to be suspension-wise with how hard these guys are going to be getting into the wall and really how constantly, I'd have to say, they're going to be getting into the wall as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, you could probably have a couple scrapes here and there, but the reason why I was bringing up damage to you is because a driver like Tate Lytle, who's actually having a blinking problem at the moment, getting passed by a couple of drivers. That would have been Luis Salmasso and the 77 of Drew Eisman. Great paint scheme on Eisman and Salmasso, especially Eisman. He's got the Marlboro paint scheme out. But Lytle's going to drop back all the way to 9th place. Has some damage. Don't know if that's playing an effect with how that car is performing, such as speed and handling.
I'd have to say so. You know, really that whole right side is pretty well tore out. Yeah, he's kind of hit on both ends at that point, both the front and the rear. So he's probably got issues both internally and with the Arrow at this point, I'd have to say.
Tell you what, a driver who isn't snapping into the wall, but he's snapping into Slim Jims is the number 44 of Matt Hackathorn, having a pretty solid race right now. I don't think he's found the wall yet. One of the cleanest cars out there on the racetrack at the moment.
That was a pretty solid transition as well.
Closest battle on track, I'm going to have to say, because Drew Eisman just got by Luis Salmasso for position. Salmasso is going to drop back to 8th. Eisman to 7th now. Drivers are about 3.5 seconds behind Peter Short, who's currently in 6th place. Oh, Corey Lindsay off track. Hits the inside wall. Got some left front damage.
Yeah, that's some good damage right there. See, the hood's kind of crinkled up there. And here's the replay. Turn 4, the same situation we saw Levi in. Except he got the wall. Oh, someone's spinning into turn 3. The 91 of Dylan Hickey around. And caution's out. Yeah, he's got a hood missing. Someone else got turned around as well. The 87 of Richard Hines.
This is the first caution of the evening. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
87
Hines, Richard Hines was already out of control by the time Hickey got there.
Oh, and Hickey just trying to get out of the way, and unfortunately, Richard Hines just kind of came down the racetrack.
Hines was already out of control because he snapped loose off of turn number 2 and tried saving the race car. Hit the car, it bounced so hard, and it still bounced so hard. He doesn't have that much control of the car, and Dylan Hickey just got involved into the incident.
And I think Richard was trying to get out of the way by getting down to the bottom, and unfortunately that's right where Dylan Hickey was aiming for. And Hickey going to lose a hood here tonight, and Hines probably with some suspension damage, but here comes everybody down pit road.
Pit road is open for the first time this evening under caution flag. We are going to be completing 35 laps out of the 183, I believe it is, tonight.
Yes,
and you want to take 2 tires here, Justin? I bet.
No.
That would be not a wise choice.
You're already seeing some guys getting pretty loose off turn 4, so safe bet every time these guys are going to come down, it's probably going to be a 4-tire stop.
I wasn't paying attention to lap times during this green flag run, but we will next time by. So far, the 17 car gets the first pit box since he was the Drive Force Suicide Prevention pole winner. Elected a first pit box, and he is out and away, beats everybody off pit road. You got Cameron Rich, Justin Krasinski, Sam Close, Chuck Sweeting, and Peter Short rounding out the top 5 exiting the pits.
I was going to say, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take a little strategy and stay down pit road, try and repair some of this damage. Corey Lindsay going to be one of them, as well as, Dylan Hickey, I think, is in a situation where he has to. But Kyle Hanshaw, as well as Johnny Thomas, going to stay down pit road. 56 of Tate Lytle as well, an extended stay.
This is probably the perfect opportunity to get any kind of beating and banging Darlington straight that you have collected this evening.
Some of these guys are going to have to get going because here comes the pace car. And there goes Tate.
Was not sure. I wasn't paying attention who was the lucky dog recipient in this race here this evening. I'll have to kind of go back and take a look.
So I can confirm that caution was not actually brought out by iRacing, but was in fact brought out by the league admin Corey Lindsay. So to see that.
All right, the lucky dog recipient was Mr. Brent Miller, so he'll be back on the lead lap. But he's back down pit road, getting much needed damage repaired. And yeah, the race administrator, league owner, Corey Lindsay, brought out the caution flag, probably rightfully so.
Yeah, probably said enough was enough, but it's really surprising to me, Tanner, how we know that towards the bottom of the racetrack is considered the apron. But I'm surprised that the caution is not being called by iRacing even that far down. I mean, I guess in a way it's good to let these guys keep racing. I'm just kind of surprised that it seems like that's well within the racing room that we're not seeing the caution being brought out.
Yeah, my theory of that is if you look, there's kind of if you look at the racetrack where the pace car's kind of running in that middle groove, just a little bit down, there's like a crease in the racetrack. Anything below that is considered the apron, and usually iRacing will not throw out a yellow flag whatsoever if a driver is below that white line right there, as you see as entering turn 1. Will not throw a caution flag at all if a driver's wrecked down there. It's not considered racetrack, and realistically it's not, because you're not going to see drivers go all the way down by that yellow line down there to try to make the corner of the racetrack. No, the fastest way around is above that white line. So, a dotted white line. As we do have the 1-to-go signal this time by, we're going to go green this upcoming time by here. So let's go ahead and reset the field here. We got Cameron Rich, Justin Krasinski, Sam Close, Chuck Sweeting, and Peter Short, the top 5. Luis Salmasso's in 6th, Drew Eisman in 7th, Jordan Thiel in 8th. 9th place, Matt Hackathorn, and rounding out the top 10, Kevin Finn. Justin, bring him to the green.
Well, I'm a little surprised that I felt like the high side was going to be more advantageous to these leaders, get a better entrance into turn 1, but looks like that won't be the case. Cameron Rich will stay on that bottom as the pace car pulls in here. Coming off turn 4, and Cameron Rich, another solid restart there. Green flag is out, and the race is going to be on for second between Justin Krasinski and Sam Close, and that seemed like a little close between Sam Close there for pulling in the high side there.
And oh man, Matt Hackathorn getting really loose off turn number 2. He's got a bumper, or he had a bumper placed straight to him by Johnny Thomas in the 83, but Hackathorn saves it. Still eating them Slim Jims, but I tell you what, that back bumper is all beat up, out of shape from Johnny Thomas. Thomas's front end nose looks a little crinkled, but he's still trying to stay competitive in this race. Cameron Ridge still leading here. Justin Krasinski in 2nd. Sam Close, the top 3 drivers at the moment, as they all come down the back straightaway.
Everybody kind of single file for the moment. Nobody looking like they're being too bold yet here on this restart.
Dylan Hickey, who is a rookie here this evening. He's driving an old Mark Martin paint scheme I'm seeing. He's looking like an SK modified right now. Currently sitting in 12th place.
Unfortunately, hasn't lost the front bumper yet, but definitely lost the hood, and I'm a little surprised that he got that much damage from hitting the 87 there. That brought out our first caution here tonight. But,
oh boy, speaking of getting close to front bumpers, I see Krasinski trying to eye up the number 17 of Cameron Rich. So far, he hasn't been able to do anything, not getting close enough to do anything with him just yet. This is actually the closest I am seeing a second place car has been the closest to Cameron Rich.
He got a great run out of turn 2 there. See what he can do into 3. See if he can't close that gap up just a little bit, and looks like he does. But we'll see how well Cameron Rich can get off of 4 here.
I'm going to put you in Krasinski's situation here. You're riding second place, Justin. The race leader's like, man, I'm not going to just give you this race lead, even though you practically caught me. How are you going to get by Cameron Rich if he doesn't want to give it up?
A great question, because especially here, getting to the leader is one thing, but passing them is going to be another. I really liked how Sam Close entered turn 3 that last time on Krasneski. I almost feel like you have to be a little aggressive entering the corner, which will definitely affect your exit speed, but getting the lead and mostly the line is going to be the most important on trying to pass people here tonight. He still doesn't seem like the gap's kind of even between the two here. Which, I mean, you're 44 laps into a 183 lap race. There's really no real pressure at this point. You still got quite a bit of race to go here.
44 laps have been playing. The leaders are on lap 45, and so far, I am reading there's only 17 cars left on the lead lap after 25 have started this evening's festivities. So far, trying to see if there's any good battling on the racetrack at the moment. 5 cars have DNF'd in this race, and some of them are pretty big name drivers in the series, like Paul Ross, Mike Stevens, those 2 drivers, and Wade Lear, Stephen Kettman are all out of this race. And Dave Wilson.
If you're Chad Brown, you're really liking how this race is looking so far. He was 20 points to the good beginning of the night, and really his closest 2 competitors there at the that were outside looking in are out of the race here tonight. So realistically, if you're Chad Brown, you just have to finish the race here tonight, and you'll be looking good.
And it would be practically a must-win situation if you're not in the top 12 on the playoff grid. Oh man, Matt Hackathorn putting a little pressure on the 33 of Jordan Teal at the moment. Nothing producing just yet, but Hackathorn's just been loose off of turn number 2 each time. Johnny Thomas, we haven't spoke about too much about him tonight. We did talk to him in pre-race, but in that chicken pit car.
And really look like right there in 3 and 4 and a little bit in 1 and 2, you're seeing the difference of lines that you can take here at Darlington. You don't have a whole lot of room up there, but really there's 2 ways to attack this racetrack. Is that gap going to virtually minimize here? Matt enters towards the bottom there and slides up, where Jordan Teal more enters towards the wall, and it seems like Matt's getting pretty aggressive. Let's see if he tries to make the move into 1, as Teal has a little blink there.
Oh man, I that would aggravate me as a driver. Realistically, if I'm fighting a loose race car and I know
Teal
there he goes into
really into the wall there.
Hard into the outside wall.
That's about the 3rd time he's done that here tonight. And now he has to fight with Johnny Thomas. Keep that spot, see if Thomas gives him a little bumper. No, he'll just cross him over, and there goes Teal! Hard into the wall, and that's probably going to bring out the caution. There it is.
And this time, Corey didn't even have to throw out the yellow. iRacing did it itself. But I tell you what, we have to get on board that 83 of Johnny Thomas.
Yeah, I believe he got a bumper to him, but really he was along for the ride at that point. Nothing Johnny could really do right there. So he crosses over right here, and doesn't make contact with him. Teal just gets loose, and yeah, kind of finishes him around.
Light contact, I'm seeing right there for Johnny Thomas. But I tell you what, Jordan Teal, he did everything he could, and then all of a sudden he just got really loose off of turn number 4. Hard, vicious hit.
Yeah, Teal had been struggling quite a bit here tonight, but was kind of holding on to that spot. Unfortunately, the looseness of turn 4 bites another driver. So I have a good feeling that everybody's going to come. Yep, here they come.
Second caution of the evening here tonight, and Cameron Rich, the race leader, who's been leading the race since the drop of the green flag, is bringing everybody back down pit road.
And the only cars who'd stayed out were drivers who were a lap down. It looks like Levi Zielinski will get the wave around here this time. And Chad Brown and Richard Hines will be the only two who stay out. See if they come down pit road this next time when it's open for them.
Well, everybody's in their pit box. They're all grabbing 4 fresh stickers. Fill that fuel tank up. Got a little ways to go yet in this race. Some drivers are done. And off of pit road.
Oh! Krasinski got him.
If he didn't speed. Pit road speed limit tonight is 45 miles an hour.
Nails pace.
Was faster coming to that pit exit line. The fastest I've seen him go was 48 miles an hour.
Well, I think you may have got him.
I think you did, because I'm looking at it too, the cone line. And I'm not showing any evidence, because if he sped on pit road, he would have been sent to the tail end of the longest line.
Well, I was wondering if Chad Brown and Richard Hines would try and stay out here to get that wave around, try and put themselves back on the lead lap, but that will not be the case. They will bring it down pit road.
Well, if you're gonna take a wave around, then you're banking on another caution to stay on the lead lap again.
Well, I mean, the way these guys have been racing here tonight, not each other, but just racing the racetrack, and some of them not faring as well. We've seen a lot of guys already have some issues, so if I was in that situation, I may have taken that risk if I'm that far back to begin with. But I guess at this point, Chad Brown really has nothing to lose. Looks like he'll probably be solidly into the playoffs come Richmond. Have to see how the points shake out, but
well, let's kind of reset everything here. Right now, we've yeah, you know what? Let's not go ahead and reset because we're still in the caution. Let's go ahead and talk to somebody. Let's see if we can pull somebody up here. I don't know. Who do you want to talk to, Justin? I'll let you.
Why don't we talk to Justin Krasinski? Yeah, he just won that battle off pit road. See what he's
Tell you what, I'll give you Krasinski. You can talk to him.
Well, all right. Justin Krasinski, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we'll try and make this quick. Just saw the lights go out. But just beat Cameron Rich off pit road. Really the first driver to pass him all night. How's the car feeling, and what's the lookout for this restart here?
Oh, we're pretty good. I just told the Rebel guys good work on pit road, but someone take a picture because we don't get to be in front of the 17 very often. But it's good to be back in the seat. Car's pretty good. I don't think we're quite as good as Cameron is, especially in the long run. I think we can hold with him maybe 5 laps, but some things can go our way. Darlington's a weird track, and I think we have good enough speed to run the top 5. So just gotta wait and see how it cycles out.
All right, we'll let you go here. We know we're about to restart, so I wish you the best of luck here, man.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
That's Justin Krasinski, who's currently leading the race. We have actually seen our first lead change of the evening here tonight. And Justin, they're coming to the green flag, so go ahead, take it away.
There we go. Just trying to move him back as the 48. A great restart there, and the green flag back out. Not as good as a restart as Cameron Rich has been getting, but good enough to get him towards the lead and at least a 2-car gap in between Cameron Rich. He gets a little loose in the turn 2 there, Cameron does. And it looks like he'll fall back into the clutches of Sam Close and Chuck Sweeting here.
Oh, man, pile of cars, single file, racing, bumper to bumper, coming off of turn number 2. That's practically Luis Salmaso on back.
Whole pack of cars exiting turn 4 there, nose to tail.
Down in turn 1 once again. And Krasinski actually starting to pull away just a tick on the 17 of Cameron Rich. Oh, man, Nick Miller. Loose off of turn number 2. Saves it.
As well as the 91 of Dylan Hickey, who looks like they put a new hood on that car. I didn't think that was possible in iRacing, but color me shocked, as he's going to lose a position to Levi Zielinski here. That car possibly not handling his liking yet, and doesn't want to hinder his teammate there.
A lot of action going on in such a single file race, and where Dylan Hickey's at, I got cars right ahead of him. Yeah, you mentioned Zielinski. I'm seeing Tate Laddle practically brushing the wall right in front of Corey.
Hickey, I think, was trying to come to pit road. No, he's just going to stop and hopefully reset.
He's still stopped there.
Yeah, he's still stopped on the racetrack.
Race leader's coming.
Now he's going to back out. Okay. I was going to say.
Maybe he forgot a button.
It looked like he was going to come down pit road as Cameron Rich is reeled in Justin Krasnetsky now at this point. 2/10 is the gap there, and looks like we'll have our first battle for the lead here.
Oh boy, yeah, first time battling for the lead, maybe under green flag conditions. We'll see what Krasinski can do, and see if he can play defense. I'm pretty sure as fast as Cameron is, Krasinski isn't just going to flat out give it to him. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't, but no offense, Cameron, but...
Why would you here?
You got 5 wins, Cameron.
Yeah.
But Cameron still wants to keep up his momentum and continue what he is doing, despite those 5 wins.
Yeah, I was going to say, look like the 14 of Kevin Finn, a little loose off turn 2 there.
Johnny Thomas.
Famous last words by the producer there. They'll be fine. Well, this battle for the lead is really heating up now. Oh, it's Cameron Rich, a little loose there off turn 2. Somehow regains it.
Oh. Bam close, tap the wall, but he'll be fine.
Here we go.
Yeah, all right, let's see what Cameron can do with Krasinski. I mean, realistically, you're thinking, yeah, but he's not right on his bumper. That's true, but he's technically there. It's only a 10th off. Let's see. Man, I tell you what, that 17 is a lot quicker in 1 and 2 than what the 48 is.
He's right on the bumper now. I have to imagine he might try and get aggressive here into turn 3. No. I want to see someone do what Sam Close did earlier, where he just kind of made up all the time into 3.
I want to see someone pull a Tanner and Justin from what happened quite a few years ago.
Yeah. I was a lot younger and stupider back then, so.
Oh, yeah, so was I.
I'm telling you, Cameron not letting him go off turn 2 here. But really, he's either going to have to try something off 4, get some momentum, or try and get aggressive into 3. That's really your only options of attack here. Try and get him on exit, or try and get him on entry. There's really no in between.
I got to give an update about Dylan Hickey. He wasn't able to get off the track right away because he was having connection problems. So that's why there was a delay on getting off the racetrack. But nonetheless, with this kind of somewhat semi-battle for the top spot between Krasinski and Rich, has technically brought Sam Close into this mix, because Sam Close has technically caught the race leaders a little bit. He's notched it down less than a second. About 0.8 of a second back between Cameron Rich and Krasinski. Battle for 7th place is brewing up, though, pretty good. That's Matt Hackathorn in the Slim Jim car. Right behind him, you have the 14 of Kevin Finn. And and I gave damage to the Kevin Finn.
hackathorn into the wall, and somehow it's not going to hinder him at all. Drew Eisenman going to try and get underneath the 14 of Kevin Finn here. Don't believe he'll be able to pull off the pass. No, he will not.
Our producer just said that he'll be fine, but I just wonder if that was the same thought that the producer had when he ran into me in Kentucky.
Or maybe that was your thought. Well, never mind.
Battle for the lead.
He's there. He gets a little bit lower into 3 there. You're really going to have to try and get the speed either on entry, kind of throw it in there, or try and get him on exit. We just got an update from Dylan Hickey from the chat here. He was having some video card issues there, and iRacing wouldn't let him back out after that. That's why he was just sitting on the racetrack.
That's exactly what I thought. So that explains it right there. Thanks, Dylan, for bringing that up. We had that battle for the top spot really brewing up here. Cameron Rich pushing the pressure on the bumper of that 48 tied. And you know Krasinski's not going to let the 17 have this whatsoever, and I don't blame him. Who knows? We might see the old Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven incident.
And here it is. Here's the move. 17 underneath the 48 here. And oh, no! Cameron going to save it into the wall there, and he keeps the lead.
He keeps the lead, but
here comes Sam Close on the bottom. What in the world just happened?
I don't think the 48 even moved.
I think Cameron kind of overestimated how aggressive he had to be there, and he thought he was going to have the 48 cleared, and got into the bumper of the 48 there, got him loose. That was an incredible slide and save there into 3 by the 17.
Tell you what,
here's the in-car of the 48. Wow. That was a pretty bold move, but it worked out for Cameron Rich. And with that, Krasniewski actually lost 2 spots. Sam Close was able to complete that pass as well. And now we have another battle for the lead between Sam Close and Cameron Rich.
Yeah, that incident down turn 3 Sam just hit the wall, but he still keeps the speed. And I think Cameron Rich just kissed it. But hey, nonetheless, that incident between Krasinski and Rich into turn 3 brought Sam Close into 2nd place. Sam could have probably got more, but couldn't bite because Rich was already in the middle of 3 and 4. So let's see what Sam Close can do. Oh man, fishtailing goes Cameron Rich off turn number 2. Still holds on to the top spot.
And into the wall again. Both of them actually. The 48 just behind him got into the wall as well.
In the words of Carlos Acosta, they'll be all right.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
I don't know what you're seeing here, Justin, but I'm looking at the top 3 drivers. Look at Sam Close, for example. Sam is struggling in 3 and 4. The 17 car of Rich is struggling in coming off turn number 2 because he keeps fishtailing it. And Justin Krasinski has kind of backed it down just a little bit, but he's not snapping loose. So he's found a line to where it's in working that throttle to where it's not making that car so snappy loose. But he's still kind of staying about a good 0.5 of a second between leaders.
And I think the winner in all of this would probably be Justin Krasniewski. He's been the most stable, and you mentioned before Close fishtailing off, or excuse me, Rich fishtailing off 2 and just about into the wall there. Realistically, that's just going to put more wear on the tires. The car is just going to handle worse at that point. You're going to have to just try and slow it down a little bit, try and regain control of the car, and just find a line that works. Really, I mean, there's only really 2 lines you can run here at Darlington, so that's not asking a lot here. Oh, Corey Lindsay into the wall there, and like he'll save it? Yep, he will. Good catch there, producer. Kind of looking for battles on the track. The current closest one is between the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw and the 59 of Levi Zielinski. That's a battle for 11th. That's what I'm seeing.
Oh, Peter Short and Chuck Sweeney, that's kind of starting to brew up just a little bit. Peter Short kind of gained just a little by little on Chuck Sweeney. Sweeney's actually been quiet all night.
Oh, then. All right. And Levi just got that spot from Handshot. Oh, and then pounds the wall into turn 3. Levi Zielinski, and he's loose off turn 4. He got that position and then just kind of let her slide into the wall in 3.
Pancaked it. Zielinski.
Yeah, got the spot there and then just pow, back straightaway right there.
Oh no, I think a car just went spinning off the racetrack. Trying to catch who that was. That was Richard Hines. No caution. Off in turn 3 and 4, he hit the wall. Car snapped loose.
I don't even see him on the track. Oh, okay. Here's a replay. It gets him in the wall a little bit there, and he was stopped on the racing surface. Yeah, again, I don't know how that wasn't a caution, but slides off, and I guess just left. So there's Johnny Thomas there. Hackthorn into the wall there, off 4. Oh, no. A little loose off turn 4, it actually would appear. And a little loose off turn 2.
Oh, Levi just annihilated the wall off turn 2.
Oh.
Man, I mean...
And into the wall again. It appears that Levi, unfortunately, has a habit of once he gets into the wall, and he's going to lose it off turn 4. No, he's going to save it.
Man, I wish I had $1 for every time a driver has hit the wall tonight.
Be pretty rich.
Yeah. Oh, Cameron hit the wall. Cameron Rich into the outside wall in turns 3 and 4. Smacked it pretty good. So far, continues to have the race lead to about 0.4 of a second over Sam Close.
Yeah, that was one of those hits to the wall where you're just trying to get more speed out of it. He'll be fine.
I mean, realistically, that was the hardest Cameron has hit tonight.
And just about got it as well. You know, I saw a man do that at Bristol once. Hit the wall just to get more speed, and I think he about won that race.
Update on Justin Krasinski, sitting in the 3rd spot right now. He has lost about a second and a half to 2 seconds on the race leaders, Sam Close and Cameron Rich. So Krasinski really backing it down as far as when he got passed for the lead from Cameron. How about Chuck Sweeting, though, Justin? I mean, he's been very quiet, been in the top 5 all night. We haven't talked about him too much. Just having a very quiet night in that number 26 Gray Ghost car.
Absolutely, and nothing to worry about really for Chuck. Already into the playoffs, and like you mentioned, just kind of having a solid night right now. And at this point, probably just clicking off laps in that rhythm as we mentioned before, and car looks clean.
Driver that has lost a lot of spots since lap 1 has been Tate Lytle. He is currently in 15th. The last car on the lead lap will be lapped pretty soon because right behind him is the race leader, Cameron Rich. So Tate Lytle started 2nd, currently in 15th. Biggest driver on the move and since lap 1, started 24th and currently in 10th place, Nick Miller.
Crazy to think that we almost have 10 cars out of this race. Like you mentioned, Tate Lytle, the first one, or last car on the lead lap. Chad Brown, last car on the track a lap down. And then Richard Hines, Kevin Finn, Dylan Hickey, Jordan Teal, Mike Stevens, David Wilson, Paul Ross, Wade Lear, and Stephen Kettman, all out of this race. 9 drivers out of the race and not even past halfway yet. That's Darlington for you.
And speaking of that halfway, we have 9 laps to go right now. Coming to 8 laps to go right now as Cameron Richards makes his way off of turn number 4. 8 laps remaining until that halfway bonus for the top 10 drivers. So far, it just looks like to me that Sam Close at this point of the race is the only one that's keeping tabs with Cameron Rich, finding out what he is trying to do to keep up with him. Krasinski has fallen off about 2.2 seconds now from the race leader Cameron Rich. I'm looking through the field here to see if there's any other battles on track. Not really, because everybody's practically single file or by themselves. So, go over lap time differentials for the first time tonight. I'm going to go with Cameron Rich because he's been the fastest car this evening. Cameron Rich, his fastest lap time of the race, a 28.4837. Right now, he's currently running 30.634. So that's a little over 2 seconds.
I think they're about to catch up to a lap car. That's the 56 of Tate Lytle. 35, yeah, I was just doing getting some numbers there. 35 laps into this run. And from what we know, the fuel numbers are about 50 laps. Is Cameron Rich going to put Tate Lytle a lap down and probably going to put Brett Miller a lap down as well.
And this ain't good for the race leaders here because you got lap traffic all around you here. Catch him just like that, how Cameron just catches Brenton Miller on entering to the corner like that. Usually, I mean, what I'm trying to get at is that you're catching lap cars at the wrong time. Brent Miller gets a little sideways, so does Tate Lytle. Now Cameron Rich back in clean air. Sam Close is not.
We had just
Lytle's around! Nope, he saves it.
We had just gotten a look at the 26 of Chuck Sweeting there. Was slow on the front straightaway. He was trying to make it down pit road and actually missed it. So had to get back up to speed. Oh, and he's actually spun around again! I think he missed it again. Low enough that there's not going to be a caution. Yeah, he tried doing this last time. Missed it. This time he actually spins the car out. Was heading for that wall and had to spin it the other way.
Oh, man. And we documented it at the top of the show. Pit road is one of at this racetrack specifically is one of the hardest pit roads to get on.
Tanner, I think we just put the commentator curse on 26 of Chuck Sweeting. He was sitting about 4th place there, just running smoothly. And now he's a lap down, 15th. He's going to try pit road one more time here for the third time.
He's sliding right now, trying to get to pit road.
He's going to miss it again. No, he's not. He's going to make it.
Almost hit the barrels, though.
The third time is the charm. Well, like we mentioned, at least he has 2 wins here and really no worries for making it into the playoffs. And it looks like we're just about to halfway here.
And it is, but I mean, good Lord, you're sitting in the top 5, all race long, and you just missed pit road not once but twice, and so that it definitely takes you out of the race for a shot to win. Not to mention
he spun it out too.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're halfway here.
So right now, this will be the halfway lap. So coming to the line, this upcoming time by Cameron Rich coming off turn number 2. Sam Close follows closely behind. 0.4 of a second is the gap between first and second. Don't think Sam's going to get him. So this will be Cameron Rich. He's going to get 10 bonus points for leading at the halfway point. That will conclude the first half of the race. But there's no caution, folks. The race keeps going. That's one thing I like about 3 wide is that they don't stop the race. But we're about 9 laps away from pit stops.
Oh boy.
So that's going to be an interesting thing. We talked about that at the top of the show. So let's do a rundown of the top 10 here. Cameron Rich, Sam Close, Justin Krasinski, Peter Short, Luis Salmaso, Drew Eisenman, Johnny Thomas, Matt Hackathorn, Levi Zielinski, Nick Miller, all receiving top 10 bonus points.
Sorry, producer. Just. Oh my Lord.
Oh, nonetheless, Carlos, you have to go through all of them. Oh man, fishtailing goes Cameron Rich. Man, I tell you what, he's just stalling that needle.
Yeah, he's ready for a pit stop. But, yeah, Chuck Sweeting just kind of gave us an example of how tough it is to get down pit road. Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, right now, would you want, if you're saying close, oh, we have trouble?
Chuck Sweeting, as quickly as we said it. Got low off turn 2 there. Oh, the 9 of Nick Miller hard into the wall there. In 3, and I thought Nick was going to get there, but Tate Lytle down pit road here.
Man, if I was Sam Close right now, you lost time to the race leader. Get down pit road, get 4 fresh tires, gain the advantage.
I still feel like it's a little early, but because Tate Lytle was a lap down, I think he's just trying to get some advantage here, but...
Well, Lytle's right now one of the drivers on pit road, but he was already a lap down, though.
The 9 of Nick Miller will bring it down pit road here. Corey Lindsay as well.
Hit the wall lap previous.
He got it pretty good. Tate Lytle is exiting pit road here. Make sure that... well, I don't think we mentioned it here, but got to make sure that you keep it underneath that yellow line until the blue cone here, per the new iRacing rules.
I love it.
Brent Miller down pit road, so that's going to be all of Team Blurry there.
Hackathorn to pit road.
And Cameron Rich going to bring it down pit road. Oh, and the 5 of Sam Close going to miss it. Well, Peter Short brings it down pit road as well. Not sure if he made the commitment cone. Drew Eisenman, Luis Almaso down pit road. Johnny Thomas, Levi Zielinski. Nope, Zielinski misses it. He'll make it in.
And
Kyle Hanshaw. Rustin Krasneski will bring it down, and Sam Close going to try again here. He's pretty fast, but looks like he'll make it. Sure did.
Oh man, Cameron Rich is already out and away right now. All the drivers on pit road. Luis Salmaso's the driver, our part 3 OG, who just got done. Johnny Thomas has been on pit road. Zielinski's leaving his pit box. Damn close. Entering his pit box after missing it the first time. He's going to come down and get 4 fresh tires. He has practically lost a lot of time with missing the pits. But I'm telling you what, Justin, I mean, we've seen it all here at Darlington. If you're not hitting the wall and you're not spinning it out, you're definitely costing yourself a lot of time missing the pits. That just seems the 3 big stories of this race. The wall, the spinning out, the handling of the race car, and the missing pit road.
Absolutely, yeah, but, you know, you mentioned it at the top of the show, just how difficult it can be down pit road, because you essentially have to start getting ready at the back straightaway with how narrow turn 3 is. You really can't just dive it down in to turn 3 down pit road, so.
That's why I brought that up. If you want to make a pit stop, make sure you're slowing down on, like, at least halfway down the back straightaway and get on the apron, because that pit road is so far towards that inside wall, it's very easy to miss, even backing down on the back straightaway. But we have seen drivers who just kind of cut it down towards the apron on entrance turns 3 and miss pit road.
Well,
Sam Close was 1 second behind when they came prior to green flag pit stops of Cameron Rich and Close. Sam Close is now 11.5 seconds behind Cameron Rich in 4th place. That's how much time he's lost, and that's significant.
Well, Chuck Sweeting, who had missed pit road twice there, currently a lap down. Obviously, he's on a different strategy at this point than the leaders. So that last run was only about 46 laps, so about 4 shy of what we were expecting. Yeah, that's a good point. They're probably going to cut this race at this point in half, so. Came down at lap 98.
I'm not seeing any battles anymore on the track. Everybody's just all fanned out, riding by themselves just a little bit. Let's, he's still here? I thought he left.
He left and then he came back in, so I guess.
All right, yeah, let's bring up Paul Ross, who has been out for the race for quite some time right now. And Paul Ross, you got a copy?
Yes, I do. How's it going?
Hey, Paul, very difficult racetrack and a very difficult car, a warm track temperature. Oh, we got trouble on the track, though.
I believe I just about lost it.
Oh, all right. Well, Paul, anyways, tell you what, what a heartbreak here tonight, but nonetheless, you are still in the playoffs with them wins that you have under your belt. How are you going to go forward entering Richmond, and then what are you looking forward to in the playoffs?
This is probably my least favorite track at any temperature that we've ran it at. Richmond's one of my favorite tracks. So I'm just coming into this race, I didn't have very high expectations. Didn't even know if I was actually going to run the race or not. But Richmond should be good. We led a few laps there last year and had a good strategy going until we came up short on fuel. But we're excited for Richmond. Just want to put this one behind us, and hopefully a caution can come out so we can get Sam back up there.
And speaking of Sam, and speaking of Sam here, I mean, you came back to watch this race, maybe kind of guide Sam just a little bit. Pit road, man, it just seems like a lot of drivers are trying to get on the pit road on entrance to turn 3 and making a hard left, and then they're missing it. As a driver, what's the key features on what's the best way to try to get to pit road?
You have to start slowing up even on the backstretch before you get to turn 3. During practice, I tried getting onto pit road probably 3 or 4 times, and even with only 2 laps on the tires, it was sliding a lot. So you just have to back the entrance way up and kind of do a controlled slide to get the car woed up and onto pit road.
Yeah, I had to document that at the top of the show as far as trying to get on pit road. And at least halfway down a back straight, I start rolling it down so you can actually make it. But hey, Paul, you're one of the drivers in the league that likes painting cars for not just yourself, but quite a few drivers in the league. This is probably got to be one of the most funnest times to paint cars that, going retro. Tell me a little bit about your paint designs and your teammates.
It's something I usually look forward to every year. I just wish it was at a track that we liked a little bit better. But it's kind of a catch-22. I really like painting my own type of stuff. I don't really like doing, replicas or throwback schemes, but it worked out this year. I had a good time on almost every car that I did. A couple of them were a challenge, like Nick Miller's. I searched online for probably an hour and a half trying to find another picture of his car that he sent me, and I had one picture to work off of, so some of them are a little tricky, but I don't know. It's a fun event for 3 wide. Again, just wish we could have it at a different track.
All right, Justin, before we let Paul go, do you have anything for Paul?
Well, like you mentioned, those cars out here tonight, beautiful, and unfortunately, a tough night here tonight. Let's talk a little bit about the playoffs. Obviously, you're locked in. We talked a little bit about the rounds here tonight. What's the outlook into the playoffs, knowing Richmond you're locked in?
We're just going to go out, try to get some more bonus points going into the playoffs. Every round that we go to kind of has a unique track that could throw a wrench into things. Road courses I'm not very good at. I can usually Watkins Glen, get about a 6th, 7th place finish, where, it's almost a guaranteed lock that Cameron or Peter's going to win that race. But it should be interesting. Most of the rounds have 3 races, so as long as we can, finish good in the 2 races that I know that we can, the wild card races shouldn't be that big of an issue.
Absolutely. All right.
All right, well, Paul, thanks for taking the time to come talk with us. Sorry about the event here tonight, but best of luck next week at Richmond. And if we don't talk to you at Richmond at any point, I'm sure we will, but if we don't, best of luck in the playoffs.
Thanks, you guys, and hopefully we can talk to you next week.
All right, that's Paul Ross, who tonight is unofficially going to finish in the 23rd spot, but nonetheless, he did lock himself into the playoffs.
Well, can confirm that we have 10 cars now out of the field. Chuck Sweeting has actually not sure how recently, but has left the race here tonight, has pulled it behind the wall and called it a night.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm showing actually now 8 cars, soon to be 7 cars left on the track. But let's talk to another driver here, since there isn't a whole lot of battling going on right now. Let's talk to David Wilson right now. David Wilson, Justin Kolb's caught up with you.
Yes, David Wilson, you got a copy? Try one more time. David Wilson, 3 Wide TV, you got a copy? Alright, well, I guess he stepped away for a little bit, so we'll let him get back and see if we can't try him again later.
Trying to figure out where he was in. I got him. But nonetheless, just trying to see if there's any other drivers in here that we could possibly chit-chat to. Not really.
Mike Stevens just joined. I don't know if you want to talk to him.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk to Mike Stevens. Let's see if we can bring him in here. Mike Stevens, 3Y TV, got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, Mike, it was a very rough race for you here tonight, and it's understandable why, because Darlington's such a tough racetrack. Drivers hitting the wall, and sometimes when you hit the wall, it just stops. But this will put you in the hole and put you in a situation to where it's a must-win now at Richmond going to next week in order to make the playoffs. What are your thoughts on Richmond?
Richmond's not exactly one of my best tracks. I do enjoy it, but I usually have a hard time figuring out the long run. But yeah, I mean, we are in a win to get in kind of situation. I was really hoping to just kind of play it safe tonight, maybe snag myself a top 10, but unfortunately the cards weren't in our favor this evening. So going into Richmond, I'm going to do everything I can, but I'm obviously not going to put too much stress on it because I don't want to ruin anybody else's race. So we'll have to play it by ear and see how it goes.
You know, even let's say, I mean, even though you may or may not make playoffs, I mean, you're still going to try to go out and go for wins. And I'm sure there's tracks out there that you are fully capable on winning at. Do you have a favorite preference of kind of racetrack, or do you have a favorite track that the league goes to?
I do really like the road courses. Not so great on them since we've made the switch to iRacing, but I do really enjoy them. It's always been kind of fun for me. I think of myself less of as an oval racer and more of as a road course racer. But I mean, I do, I try to figure out. I've been trying to figure out which tracks here I could be strong at. Obviously, plate tracks I'm pretty decent at. So I don't know. I would love to go out for wins every week, but I also realize that there's a chase going on, and I mean, I am going to try to push for wins even if I don't make the chase, but I would really just kind of like to use this, use it if I don't make it in, use it as some time to learn, maybe get a better grasp of what's going on, and then just kind of go from there.
All right, Justin, do you have anything for Mike?
No, basically I answered all the questions. I know it was probably not the season you were looking for, Mike, but like he said, making it into the chase, or making it into the playoffs, I'm sure at this point probably going to have to get a win, as Chad's kind of still running at this point.
Yeah, Chad and I are really good friends, and I'm kind of glad, but I'm kind of not that I've been battling with him for the final chase spot. I mean, Chad's a good guy. He's really improved over this season, just in and of itself. But yeah, it started out as a good season, and it just kind of faded. And I made a couple of gambles that I probably shouldn't have, in the last couple of races, and kind of put myself in a hole that unfortunately I wasn't able to dig myself out of.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us here. When we let you go here, is there a team you want to be put into?
No, you can just put me back in the lobby for now. But thanks, guys, for putting on the broadcast. The old-timey feel looks really well on screen. I'm really enjoying the broadcast.
Yep, that's all our production truck from Mr. Carlos Casa. Thanks, Mike, for talking with us, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, fellas.
That was Mike Stevens, who unofficially tonight will finish 21st. Well, I haven't seen a lot of battles during the interviews that have been going on. I've been kind of keeping an eye on Krasinski and Rich, the gap between those two drivers. Last time by at the start-finish line, it was 7.2 seconds. But, oh, we got trouble. Let's take a look at the replay here. What did you see, Justin?
Oh, well, we saw the 46 into the wall there. But yeah, it hasn't been a whole lot of racing. I guess everybody's kind of kept it calm and... Oh, Matt Hack's throwing it. Third. Oh, someone's hit the wall. The 59 of Levi Zielinski around on the back straightaway, hard into the wall.
No caution. He's below that line. That's considered the apron of the track. But we do have a battle heating up right now for third place. Sam Close has caught Peter Short for position. Sam Close is on a little bit of fresher tires than what Peter Short is. Seven cars remain on the lead lap. Johnny Thomas is the last driver on the lead lap. He is losing time to the leader, so he'll go a lap down eventually. But nonetheless, the battle is on for third. The pressure is being on for sure. Being Close and Short. Nick Miller getting out of the way.
Oh, contact! Peter Short and Nick Miller. Miller's going to say, they both saved it somehow. Peter's still trying to hold on to it, and what in the world happened?
Nick Miller. Oh, okay. What happened was, I think it was a misjudgment. Nick Miller tried pulling off, and Peter Short tried following him. And when he did that and realized that he was pulling off, he pulled to the right, and the car just got loose. Is that what you're seeing there, Justin? You can disagree.
Yeah. But here's behind on Nick Miller. It looked like you said, just was going to pull out, and then I don't...
Oh, okay, he is moving. It was like, all right, man, he ain't going to move out of the way. I'm going to dart to the left, and by the time he starts darting to the left, Nick Miller starts going down there, and he's like, oh, okay, he is going to get out of the way, but, oh, man, I just snapped loose.
Yeah, the car just, I feel like, got so unbalanced at that point.
Right here. It's going to turn left, right here. Oh, they turned left and right at the same time.
Yeah. And then, yeah, just suddenly had to turn back to the right. Car got unbalanced, and now he's got some damage. That's actually a good bit of damage on the hood of that car.
And who do we got to thank for these camera angles? First off, I got to thank Carlos, but my good lord. Some good cameras tonight.
Well, as always, they are provided by TrackCams for Gourmet. You can find more information and download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams.
Well, after that, it's definitely a little bit of a miscue on Peter Short's part. More than likely, it might be a little bit of a combination of both. But Peter Short falls back to fourth place. Sam Close now puts himself in third place. Getting a report of a possible battle between Luis Samasso and Drew Eisenman. Yes, sir. Look at that. Those two drivers are close by. This will be a battle for fifth.
As that starts to heat up, I just want to bring up the point that our last pit stop was at lap 98, and mention that they could possibly split this in half towards the end. To do that, they're looking at about pitting with about 49 laps to go, somewhere around there, if they want to split that race in half. But we'll have to see what these guys are going to do, as Drew Eisenman just about loses it.
Man, oh man, really got loose off of turn number 2 for sure. Trying to hunt down Luis Samasso for fifth. Samasso is actually another 3OG driver. He is teammates with Paul Ross and Sam Close. And one more thing to bring up, Drew Eisenman, part of Eisentech Enterprise. His teammate is Cameron Rich. All right, so let's go over to the lap time differentials right now. First off, I want to say it's 28.437 for Cameron Rich on the fastest lap time of the, for him. He is now running 30.7s. I think he might run a 30.8 right here because he was just involved with lap traffic. To the line, a 31 flat. So his lap times have really fallen off. Differential between Cameron Rich and Justin Krasinski, who's remaining in second place, is about 6.5 seconds. Tate Lytle sideways, almost wrecking it off turn number 2. So on an average lap time, Justin, I'm seeing 30.5s and an average lap time from a 28.5. So practically 2 seconds. Oh, Tate Lytle. It's having tons of issues here. 2 laps down. Started second, had a fast car in both practice and qualification. But a lot of damage and more issues with that number 56. BM Goodwrench Toyota.
Yes, sir, and I'd like to correct myself. Numbers were a bit off. To put this race in half would be around 42 laps to go, not 49. So the next 7 laps, I believe we should be seeing these guys down pit road if they wanted to do that strategy. Some guys may try and play differently, though, as Eisenman gets into the wall there.
Eisenman was hunting down Luis Salmasso for the 5th spot, but he's lost 2 tenths to Salmasso. I mean, he's still trying to keep tabs with him. I previously mentioned a little while ago, Johnny Thomas tail end of the lead lap, and he still is, but just directly behind him is the race leader, Cameron Rich. So, and Cameron Rich is still not clocking it down, putting cars a lap down. So Johnny gotta either kick it in the gear or kind of run his race, and that's what I think he's doing, is just running his race. Kind of looking throughout the field here, I think Eisenman, yeah, that's probably the closest battle on track. For position is Drew Eisenman and Luis Salmasso, separate by 0.3 of a second. They're not really battling right now, but I mean, as far as the closest battle, if you want to quote that battle, those 2 drivers. Well, Justin, question for you here. You're coming down to the end of the race here. If you're Justin Krasinski, you've gained a couple of tenths in the last couple of laps. It is now, actually, he's gained a lot. He's gained 5 tenths in the last 2 to 3 laps. Oh, we got trouble.
Not to cut you off, but here comes Cameron Rich down pit road pretty fast, I might add, but 46 to go here. These guys coming to pit road. Oh, maybe not. Justin Krasinski stays out. Everybody stays out except for the 17, it appears.
I'm going to check to see if Cameron Rich was speeding. Pit road speed is 45 miles an hour.
Down as well. Nick Miller. And Brent Miller as well coming down pit road.
He was not speeding.
It looked close.
Was speeding, he would have had to stay in his pit box. Nope, no speeding for Cameron Rich. Krasinski stays out another lap.
I was gonna say, that seemed like 4 laps too short, I'd have to say, but...
Alright, I gotta pull out the old trusty calculator.
Corey Lindsay to pit road here.
No, they can make it. Corey Lindsay hitting the pit road. Chad Brown.
Oh, the 48 of Justin Krasinski has actually hit the wall in the middle of 3 and 4. Got it pretty good. Matt Hackthorne going to come around and get his lap back. One of his laps back, that is.
I'm sorry, but I know we all can make it to the end right now. But stand close to pit road. I'm sorry, but Krasinski's losing so much time to Cameron Rich. Who's wrecking? Drew Eisenman having a problem. Just wrecked on the front straightaway. Actually, no, he did not wreck down the back straightaway. He missed pit road. He started getting off in the middle of 3 and 4 and missed it. And then he hit the wall trying to get under power.
Yeah, he's still pretty slow on the apron, and he's about to lose it again. Oh, right in front of Chad. Oh, okay. Well, he didn't cause a caution, and I don't want to point fingers. I think that's what he was aiming for.
No, he's not having a steering issue because I'm not seeing him fight the wheel down that apron. He's just really slow. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing or what he did. He has it in first gear and he just revved it up. Like really, he just stomped on the throttle because I'm looking at his RPMs and they just jolted through the roof.
Well, Krasinski made his stop. Oh, Peter Short, I think, tried to make it to pit road. He's gonna miss.
Sorry, Peter. Based on your last name, came up a little short towards the entrance to pit road there.
Oh, that wasn't a good joke.
No, that wasn't. I'm sorry, Peter. Peter's a great guy, folks.
Well, I wasn't saying that on Peter's sake.
I'm sure Peter will let me know if you didn't like that. But we do got a new race leader. It's Luis Salmassa. Now, a great time right now will be a caution flag.
He's actually coming down pit road here. As well as Peter Short going to try it again, and that will surrender the lead once again to Cameron Rich.
Peter's going down pit road too. Oh, Peter missed it again. He slid it. Oh, daggone.
Well, at what point do you just say, all right, no, he's gonna back it up?
This will not bring out a caution. He might get a black flag for it, though.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, he stopped. I think he was getting the message.
Yep.
Yeah.
Daggone.
And he will be done for the night.
That pit road, man. Drew Eisenman has DNF.
Guys, we only have 13 cars left in this race. That's insane.
13 cars left in the race, and only 4 of them left on the lead lap. Cameron Rich, 14-second lead.
Salmassa leaving pit road here.
That was costly mistake for Justin Krasinski to stay out that long.
Excuse me, we only have looks like 12 guys left in the race here tonight, with Peter Short leaving. Well, unless we get a caution, I think this race might be, well, as soon as I say that, Cameron Rich just about had an issue in 4. Not a whole lot of clean cars left here tonight.
Heck, I don't even know who's clean anymore. Like, nobody's battling, nobody's clean exactly their production truck. I'm just kind of shocked that, you know, there's just so many drivers who are a lap down. I mean,
wow.
Get this. You got Luis Salmassa, who's a lap down. He's 4th. Johnny Thomas is 5th, a lap down. Hackathorn is 6th, a lap down. Then in 7th place, Nick Miller, who's 2 laps down. That's crazy. And just so you know, Eisenman is forced to park it because he's 6 laps down.
He had already disconnected, so I think he kind of conceded that fact. But that's pretty insane that there's only 3 cars left on the lead lap here. There's a pace these guys are putting.
So realistically, I am counting, as of right now, as it sits, 12 drivers remain on the racetrack. You know, this is common at a track like Darlington, Justin, because back in the day, they had like 60 to 90 drivers out there, and I think there was one time, unless I'm just thinking of a different track, that a driver has led every single lap. And there was only maybe the race leader was the only driver on the lead lap. So this kind of brings back some memories.
We have had 3 leaders so far here tonight. Cameron Rich has led 125 of them so far. Justin Krasinski has led 22, and Peter Short has only led 3. As it sits, Peter Short will come home 13th. First driver out of the race.
I'd like to say hello everybody out there on the YouTube chat here tonight on 3Y TV. Seeing the chat getting pretty lit up here tonight.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say lit. I was going to say, that's not keeping with the theme of this throwback event.
Well, you guys are lighting up the chat. I would tell you what, all these drivers have lit up the wall or missed the pit road because it's been a very entertaining night watching these guys just drive the wheels off this race car. Now,
literally.
Yeah, literally. And we're up here in the booth, Justin. We've had these experiences before out there.
Oh yeah.
We're just happy we're not out there right now.
Yeah.
The next season, though, might be a different story.
Oh.
Is it? I actually just got a report. 3Y TV is coming back next season. That's great. Don't know if we'll have the same direct guys in the booth, but yeah, I just got notified that I'm getting laid off at the end of the season.
They're gonna pull a Marlins. They're just gonna fire the whole booth.
Ouch.
Yeah, we're gonna be traded for international pool money.
For the pole award?
No, don't worry about it, folks. Yeah.
No. I mean, I do watch my Cubbies, but I don't watch the Marlins or anything like that.
I love trading. I love trading pitchers for basically nothing. It's great when we're struggling with the bullpen. But anyways,
I am going to a Brew game later in the week, so.
Oh, are they?
Oh, Cameron just hit the wall. Cameron's in trouble, but he's okay. He's all right. Anyways, production trucks screaming in our mics or in our headsets here. Somebody wreck already, please. But no, Cameron Rich has just been showing that he has been the dominant car, not just on the race today, but on the season. But you know, who can stop Cameron? You never know. Heck, Cameron could win the regular season. Oh, we got a battle right here that's heated up. But it's not for position, though, is it? Or 9th. That's Lytle. Yep. Hey, Lytle and Corey Lindsay, and right in the mix of that is second place driver Justin Krasinski.
That's the closest battle with 6 tenths separating them. All right, that was.
Yellow.
I'm gonna have to ask Tanner never to make that sound again.
I didn't try to, but
refrain yourself, Tanner.
Well, I mean, they made contact and it got exciting, and Tate Lytle's loosey-goosey there, falling to the clutches of Lindsay. Lindsay's actually showing a good race, but he's got
there.
damage.
Oh, man.
He's there. Ooh, I would have put the bumper there. I'm kidding. Sorry, Tate.
I've just never heard an excited man go, ew, before. Oh, as Corey Lindsay gets into the wall. All right.
I'm sorry that I just said something over the mic, but I can't say it on air.
I thought he was going to go a completely different direction. That's why I tried to stop him.
Family friendly here, fellas.
Well.
He tried. Yeah, hey, that's Reese's. It's making me hungry for a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I haven't had dinner yet, so let's just not talk about food. How about that?
You want to go for some wings after this race?
I'm going to get something.
Yeah.
I thought that was free fried pickles. What happened to that promotion? I thought that was for a win.
Man, I don't care. I'll go to Hooters for any reason. Corey Lindsay putting the pressure on Tate Lytle for 9th place. Oh, get to the bumper, but it actually loosened Lindsay up. That's uncommon. Man, I don't know. Corey's like, hey, man, I've had enough of you, man. I'm going to go for this position.
You're just trying to make it home for those free wings. Well, one thing to note, Justin Krasinski has slowly been reeling in Cameron Rich.
Yeah, but is it enough before the
I
race is over?
don't think it's enough, but he's definitely a little bit quicker, 0.3 quicker than Cameron Rich right now.
Let's talk about that a little bit here. I mean, realistically, with Krasinski and Rich, and feel free to disagree as the battle for 9th is continuing here. And let's watch this battle for 9th here. Lindsay's trying to get underneath Lytle. Lindsay's been really loose. Oh, he's in the wall now. But I think Krasinski messed up. I think he should have pitted the lap later than Cameron Rich. I think he stayed out too long. I think Cameron Rich gained that tire advantage that gave him that gap of a race lead. So, what are your thoughts?
I absolutely agree there, because like we said, he's gaining a little, but it's going to be too little too late with 20 laps to go. It's not going to be enough to be able to close in that lead. Unless we get the caution.
Caution will change everything just a little bit, and one thing it will do, it'll put Luis Salmaso back on the lead lap. Johnny Thomas is currently remaining in 5th. That's a pretty significant gap between Salmaso and Thomas. Tell you what, this battle for 9th is not giving up. It's actually the closest battle I'm seeing according to live timing and scoring. The only battle within the second I'm reading too, yeah. Between Lindsay and Lytle. Now Lytle is driving just selective races this season. Say what? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I got to report that Lytle will finish the season off, and that is actually an open opportunity.
As he gets loosened up. Go for it, Corey. Just dive it in.
This battle right here is just reminding me of me and Justin a couple of years ago. Except I reckon.
Oh my goodness, Tanner! Why did you have to say it?
I said we.
I don't think you could have timed that more perfectly. Right when you said I wrecked him, just pow back straight away.
Pow into the wall. Damn close going by Lytle right now. Still the closest battle on the tracks between Lytle and Lindsay. Lindsay is faster than Lytle. Oh! Here we go.
Oh, he's loose. He's gonna. Yeah, I think he blocked him a little bit too. There you go, Corey. Just dive it in. There you go.
And
yeah, there you go.
Just like
little contact. Oh, there they go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there they go. Oh man. That's some good old Darlington racing right there.
Hey, man, if the guy ain't going to give it up, man.
That's going to be a caution right there.
That shit, no caution for it,
though. Oh, so not a caution. Oh,
man. There might be a fist fight at the end of this race. Might be or maybe some words exchanged, Justin. You and I know a little bit about that.
Yeah. That was incredible.
Oh, God.
Man.
I should have said something else when they were wrecking. Keep your foot in it.
I just hope you didn't scream like DW did, though.
Yeah, and quite frankly, Lindsay did put his foot in it and just finished off Lytle. That was actually really entertaining on the race fan.
See, what he needed to do there was just get it in a little deeper, and then he would have been able to finish that off. But that, at the end, that's just uncalled for. Oh, and there's the caution.
Oh!
Oh, man. What was the caution for? Tate Lytle around on the front straightaway.
Oh, he got...
But ultimately, he was the caution.
Ooh. Yeah, it's an odd place.
Ooh.
I mean, he wasn't going fast enough to get loose like that.
He was just riding that apron. And,
He's letting Nick Miller
loose?
by. Yeah, he actually got loose. The weight transfer right there, and that background just snapped around on Lytle. Pow, in the inside wall.
Well, yeah, this puts another car in the lead lap, and will be a 4-car race for the lead here with...
Oh man, if I was Tate Lytle, I go Dave Earnhardt on Corey Lindsey there. Not Dale Earnhardt, Dave Earnhardt.
I love Dave Earnhardt.
It road is open this time by. Cameron Richards bringing them down. He had a huge gap, about 12 seconds over Justin Krasinski. He's coming down to get tires. It's gonna be an easy win off pit road for Rich. Pit road ain't gonna be full. You only got 3 cars on the lead lap. Sal Masso's gonna get the lucky
just wait till the next time around. It's gonna be a busy place.
Luis Sal Masso getting the Lucky Dog Award. I'll put another 3 OG back on the lead lap.
All right, so I just want to give a heads up to the production truck. We're gonna want to keep a camera on the 00 and 56 after this race.
Yeah.
Make a note of that.
Yeah, heck, I want to make a note of it now. Where are they at? 56 go. No, they're still on track. Cameron did pull out ahead, and of course he had that significant lead to help him pull out ahead, so he will hold the race lead. Krasinski in second, Close in third. Salmasso is getting his wave around, so he's able to pit this upcoming time by.
That'll leave Johnny Thomas first car lap down.
I'm sorry, I know you want to take a wave around,
all right,
but you should pit.
But... Our producer needs to calm down a little bit. I understand it's about to be 3 wide after hours, but...
Production
get our smoking jackets. Oh my god.
You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and interview Cameron Rich under this caution flag here. Let's see how's it going in that number 17 cockpit. I would assume it's nice, fine, and dandy, but let's bring him up. Cameron Rich, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Cameron, you look like you're out there for a Sunday drive, just kind of mind your P's and Q's. At times you're a little loose here and there, but now the game has changed because we may or may not have seen our last caution of the night. You all got 4 fresh tires with a limited amount of cars on the lead lap. How are you going to hold off Justin Krasinski?
Oh, well, I didn't want that to come out because I had a bit of a lead. I got a ton of damage. I got like 40 seconds of stuff to fix, so I don't know. He probably has a lot less than I do, so let's see how that works out.
Now, earlier you and Krasinski made contact in the earlier the race. Looked like you kind of just darted to the right just a little bit, not intentionally, but overall it was a great save on your end. You hit the wall, but you still hold on to the race lead. Take me through that little incident.
Yeah, man, I don't know what happened. Like you said, I guess I did move to the right. I was just trying to go into the corner. I wasn't trying to, hit him or anything. It worked out fine. We're both all right.
All right, Cameron, we're gonna let you go because we're coming to the green flag. You got a bunch of hungry guys coming after you right now. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's Cameron Rich, who is leading the race. A bunch of hungry guys coming after him. As I said, Krasinski's in second. Man. Sam Close, he has yet to bend the victory lane this season, but he's been extremely consistent. Let's see what happens. Justin, bring him to the green.
Well, you'd have to expect that Cameron's going to get a good jump here, and it's probably going to be the race for second. As there goes Cameron. And there's the green.
I think Krasinski was caught sleeping.
Yeah, he's gonna be a fight for set. Well, there goes that fight. Sam Close gonna be able to take second spot away from Krasinski. See how they battle it out from here. Sam doesn't have a whole lot of time to catch Rich here. He's only got 9 laps to do it.
And Sam Close has been one of the drivers that has been able to really keep tabs on Cameron Rich, such as at least 0.2 of a second. Otherwise, I have not seen anybody really get close to Cameron Rich. Johnny Thomas took a wave around. He's on the tail end of the lead lap, but on old tires, Salmasso is in 4th place. He's on fresh tires. He was the Lucky Dog recipient.
What I'm surprised more people didn't take that wave around. Johnny, I guess, kind of aware of how many laps were left and what he could do with the car. And he'll solidly get himself a top 5.
Corey Lindsay up there in the 6th spot. He's a lap down, but I mean, it's been a good overall a good points-paying day for Lindsay. And what do you got to do to try to catch that 17? Because you're on just as equal tires right now. You're only 0.4 of a second back from the race leader. You might have lost a little time coming off of turn number 4. Just about the same. Oh, yep. Damn close. Misses the wall.
Oh, and this Cameron Rich just about loses it off too.
Top 3 drivers looking pretty even right now, man. No drivers gaining on one another. There's a little battle back there trying to figure out what is that all about. Hackathorn and Nick Miller is the closest battle on the racetrack. That would be a battle for 8th place. Oh! Miller's loose. Battle for 8th.
They'll lose that spot.
Yep. Hackathorn gets it. Otherwise, no other battle is continuing on the racetrack. 12 drivers remain on the racetrack. If it's 4 to go right now, if a caution comes out, it is over. So you do not want a caution in these closing stages here. Can Sam Close catch the 17 of Rich? Oh, hit the wall just as he's getting into turn 3. This is the closest he's been in the last couple laps. Brzezinski's starting to fall off just a little bit. 0.2 of a second with 3 laps remaining. Cameron Rich.
Oh, he's going to get a great run off turn 2 there, Sam Close will.
Would you put a bumper to somebody just to go for a win?
Absolutely. He's going to get the wall, Sam Close will. Yeah, I was going to say, it didn't look like it hurt him too much here. Oh, he needs to get a great run. I watch turn 3, this white flag, if Sam can get there.
2 laps remaining. You need a mistake-free 2 laps. Mistake-free.
Watch Sam get off turn 2 here.
Oh, he got a launch, but...
Oh, I guarantee you, if he's close enough. Here it is. Closing in, coming to the white flag. Just about on the rear bumper. It's either going to happen in 1 or turn 3.
Got to happen sometime this lap as they head down to the 25 degrees of banking of Darlington. Got to have a mistake-free lap. Sam Close needs the run off of turn number 2 in order to get Cameron Rich. Don't
watch off turn 3 here. Guarantee he makes the move.
And
he's going to throw it in. Not quite enough, though.
I don't know if he threw it in hard enough, though. Cameron Rich.
Not going to be enough.
Off of turn number 4 and will win the Southern 250 at Darlington. And Sam Close wrecks it coming to the line, but will unofficially finish in 2nd place. Justin Krasinski finishes in 3rd. Luis Salmasso in 4th. Johnny Thomas will remain the top 5.
Great strategy by Johnny Thomas there. Oh, man. They didn't see the window net down on Sam Close, but he's going to swing it around.
Well, we've seen a very entertaining race, even though at times there was not a lot of battling. But if anything, it was the battle of the racetrack. It was the battling the lady in black, the Too Tough to Tame track, I mean, you're really racing the racetrack here at Darlington indeed. Hitting the wall, getting loose, and missing pit road. So let's go ahead as Cameron Rich starts to celebrate on the front stretch. Let's bring him up for a post-race interview. Cameron Rich, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Cameron, looks like Sam was getting to you just a little by little in the closing stages of the race there. Did he have you nervous in the final 2 laps?
Well, I'll tell you, whenever Sam is behind me at all, it makes me nervous because he's always fast. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about him passing me. I think he had a little bit less damage too, so I was worried about that.
Yeah, he was coming to you, but was not able to get you in the last lap. But hey, let's overall talk about the race itself. The car, it was a very handling loose race car, man, and it just seemed you clocked the wall a couple of times this evening. Talk to me about the handling of your car here tonight. Talk about getting on pit road as well.
Yeah, I knew getting on pit road was going to be a key that was going to either win you or lose you the race, so I practiced that a lot during practice. I just wanted to get that right. The car was pretty loose, especially on the long run. Going through 1 and 2, it was pretty terrifying, actually. I think you know this, Tanner. There's really nothing more scary than going through turn 2 and getting a little bit loose because you're so close to that wall and you're going so fast. Yeah, it was other than that, it was a pretty drivable setup. You could turn it with the throttle a little bit, so it was really fun to drive.
I've had my fair share of looseness and Darlington stripes at a track like this of Darlington, but hey, you led the most laps here this evening at Darlington, and you get your 6th win of the season. It's going to help you out for the playoffs for sure. You certainly are not letting up for the playoffs at all. You're going to continue to ride this momentum. So now next week is the last race of the regular season, and you're more than likely going to lock up the regular season standings, and then begins the playoffs. Tell me how you feel about your about getting back to victory lane for the 7th time this season at Richmond.
Well, Richmond is one of my better tracks, and it's definitely my favorite. So I really like it. Just trying to accumulate as many bonus points and points as I can before the playoffs start, and just see where that takes me.
It's taking you for sure straight to Homestead for a championship. That's where it's taking you, my friend, and that's just my opinion. But because you're such a dominating car, a dominating season, really, I mean, it's a great feeling to have for sure. Well, Cameron, thanks for talking with us this evening, and congratulations on the win. It was a dominating fashion. Best of luck at Richmond.
Appreciate it, Tanner. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the broadcast again. You guys do a really good job every week, so I just want to throw that out there real quick.
That's Cameron Rich, folks, who wins the race here tonight at Darlington. Now, Justin's caught up with Justin Krasinski. Yes, he has caught up with Justin Krasinski. Justin Show. Justin, bring it away.
Hey, Justin Krasinski, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, you bring it home 3rd here tonight. It seemed like couldn't quite catch those 2 leaders towards the end of that final restart, but you definitely had a fast car here tonight.
Yeah, we were actually pretty good. It took me a little while. I've been on the seat for at least like a month, as you know, from the league at least. So it took me a little while to get back accustomed to racing with everybody. But car was pretty good. We ran, basically in the top 5 for most of the race. But at the end there, the only reason Sam ever got behind us was he missed pit road at lap 95 or whatever that was, and we were really, really spread out. But I think he was probably a 2nd place car. We were about 3rd, 4th place car. So, we ran well. I'll take it. It's good to be back in the seat. Shame that Nathan couldn't be here and run this cool paint scheme, but glad we got to come and glad we got to run well.
Ultimately, this really didn't matter towards the end, but the final green flag pit stop, it seemed like you pitted a little bit later than everybody else. What was the thought process in that? Obviously, like we said, it didn't matter in the end, but take us through your strategy there.
Yeah, on the first run at lap 90, whatever it was, 95, 96, I believe it was, everybody came in at once there. Peter and Sam and Cam and everybody else came at once, so I wanted to come a lap after that, make sure that we were good on, split and make sure we had a nice clean pit road and everything. And, time-wise, it didn't really matter, but I wanted to make sure that we were by ourselves on that last one there with whatever it was, 30 or 40 to go. Basically just, we weren't really near anybody at that point. Cam was pretty much gone. I had 5 or 6 seconds back to, I think it was Peter and Sam at the time. So, we weren't really going to lose anything by staying out. And, Cam pit so early. He had such a big lead, he could pit that early and, try to leap us and basically left the whole field. So there was really not anything to lose and waiting a couple laps after Sam pit at least. But, it was a gamble that we had to take. We weren't really going to gain anything unless we tried it. So it was good to try it and take a stab at it at least.
All right, and we know you're not full-time in this series, so when's the next time we should be able to see? Do you have any plans set up quite yet?
Not entirely sure. I mean, I've had a couple of truck races circled. I think Coda's coming up, Circuit of the Americas, so that's one that I hope to be at for sure. But, it really just depends if, one of the normal Rebel guys can't come, whether it be Levi or Nathan or whomever it may be. I mean, I'm always around to step in the seat and hopefully run well, but hopefully we get to be back a couple more.
All right, well, with that top 3, definitely want to give you a chance to give a shout-out to anybody you need to, the team, the sponsors, everybody that made this possible here tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just got to thank Rebel Racing, as always, Levi, Nathan, of course, teammate Dylan Hickey. He ran well. They ran well tonight. The results just aren't going to show it, unfortunately, but it was definitely a long night, but we put some good race cars together, and we're glad we were able to run out front, and then, of course, my parents and the rest of my family for allowing me to do this, and support me, and then, 3 Wide Racing, Corey, everybody for putting it on. I'm super glad to be back, even if it's part-time, and you guys, of course, put on the broadcast, and all around, it's just great to be back and put on a good show.
All right, that's Justin Krasneski comes home, the P3 finish.
All right, and I'm trying to catch up with Mr. Samuel Close, who just shy of another victory. Man, ever so close. And Sam, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Sam, you're riding second place. You're gaining on Cameron. The car is a handful. You're hitting the wall. Take me to the last couple laps on how. What's your thought going through the last couple laps there, trying to gain on Cameron for your first victory?
I did really want to win, so I was pretty motivated. Really got on it. Got a good jump on the start. Justin was nice enough to kind of concede the position into one there, and I had been playing it kind of safe early on in the runs, and I would come on strong later in the run and make up more time. But that was my time that I had an opportunity with some fresh tires and not that many laps to really try to give her all she had, and came up just a little bit short. But I'm still proud of the performance, other than another stupid mistake getting onto pit road. I don't know if I had the pace exactly for Cam, but I was real close tonight, just right there. So, fun race, good race, and a really intense race, man. It takes it out of you.
You mentioned the word an intense race. Talk to me about this intense race, because it just seemed like you drivers out there, not just you, but everybody else, were just racing the racetrack itself and not racing with each other. Some give and take between you and Justin Krasinski. The handling of the race car, you're knocking down the outside wall, you're getting loose, you're missing pit road. Tell me all about that, man.
She's a handful. If you don't hit the wall a couple times here, I don't think you're probably not driving quite hard enough. Or you're just perfect. I banged down the wall once or twice, just, for whatever reason, the car would randomly drift up in the middle of the corner more than I would want it to, and you're scraping the wall. So, that's why they call it the Darlington stripe. Pit road, it's just stupid, just a stupid mistake. Didn't practice it enough in practice, and I should have been practicing it a bunch, and I thought I had it and couldn't get the car turned. So I had to go back around. It is what it is, I got to eliminate that stuff if I want to beat guys like Cam or Peter Short or Chuck Sweeting or Justin or Paul or any of those guys, because there's a lot of really hard competition in the league this year, and you can't afford mistakes.
All right, now we're leaving Darlington, which is probably one of the toughest tracks before the playoffs. We kind of document that at the top of the show. One more race until the playoffs, and we know you are in it, Sam. But how do you feel about possibly getting a win before the playoffs start at Richmond?
I'm just saving them all up for the playoffs, so keeping them in my pocket. Hopefully, I start banging them out when it's really important. Make sure I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's, and we're gonna go for it. there's no holding back. We're going to try to win this championship no matter, how dominant these other guys have been this year. And see how it goes.
I've seen you win multiple races in a row, Sam, in this league, and hopefully you're able to do it at the correct time, and that's in the playoffs for sure. Sam, thanks for taking the time to talk with us, and best of luck at Richmond.
Thanks a lot.
That's Sam Close finishing in the second spot for 3OG Racing, and Justin, I believe that's going to be wrap it up. We'll talk about the finishing. Oh yeah, we got two more. Thomas. Is Johnny Thomas in here? We can. Hey, Justin, you've called with Johnny Thomas.
Hey, Johnny got us?
Oh, I got you.
All right, well, seemed like a long night for you. Took some strategy towards the end there and solidly got yourself a top 5.
Yeah, old Clyde Turkle's chicken pit. Fastest chicken in the South. It might have been the fastest chicken in the South, but it wasn't the fastest car in the South. That was a tough race. I'm worn out. I'm usually not worn out after these things, but that was a more mentally. You got to hit your marks here every lap, and we hit that wall, spanked that wall a couple times, and got some damage. It didn't affect us It didn't affect us really at all because I was in no way, shape, or form faster than any of those guys in the top 3. But come home 5th, man. I'm happy. Top 5 again. I can't complain. We've been putting up some good runs here in the last couple weeks. Actually, I think the last time I was outside the top 10 was Bristol. So that was the only race I didn't finish in the top 10. So we're doing pretty good. I'm ready to go to Richmond and enter these playoffs, see what can happen.
Absolutely. We know you're locked into the playoffs here. We know you got a cool scheme coming up for Richmond. Seems like it's going to be just a no-pressure race for you.
Yeah, just kind of win it. That's all I got to do. It'll be a fun race. Actually, these last 3 races I've been just kind of throwing darts at the wall, trying to hopefully that one sticks. And with pit strategy, Richmond's going to be really no pit strategy. So we're good there. 83 car's good. So we just got to stay up front. I think we got a good shot to win that, and I'll do anything I can to try to win Richmond. I'm kind of just going at it here. I just want a stinking victory. I'm so tired of finishing 5th. These guys put in a lot of hours to finish up there in the top 3 every week, and I don't do that. So I'm just kind of the guy that comes in here, jumps in on either a Thursday for a couple minutes, and jumps in here for a Monday and does the race. So we'll see what we can do next week.
If only everything was that easy, just win it. But so no, I haven't, producer. But so we know you're locked in. Just kind of skip a race ahead to the playoffs here. What do you think you got for these guys?
I think I can somehow get into that final 3. I think it's the final 3. We've done it before. We've done it 2 years ago, getting in the final 3 with Cameron and Sam. Homestead's a good track for us, but I feel like the trickiest round for me as a driver is that first round, just because you got a road course in there, and I struggle big time. Luckily, it's one of my better road courses in Watkins Glen. So if we can just get past the first round, we got Talladega, and I love Talladega. I feel like I'm the best restrictor plate driver out here. So if we can get to Talladega and I got a chance to win, I'm going to try to get that victory and then somehow move on to Homestead. This competition's so good. It's so tough to advance. So we'll see what we can do. But I feel like that first round's the trickiest.
Yes, sir. Well, before we let you go here, I want to give you a chance, to thank the team, thank the sponsors, thank anybody you need to that was able to make it possible here tonight.
Well, I'm going to give it thanks to the guys that built these paints for our team, for JTR. Brantley Roden has built paints for us at Harpoon Designs for a long time, and he built that chicken pit. If you haven't heard of the chicken pits, from Stroker Ace, the movie with Burt Reynolds a long time ago. So he did a good job on that, and then Paul Ross made pretty much all our other JTR paint schemes. Unfortunately, Richard couldn't come tonight. He had issues with his internet and couldn't make it, but just Paul and Brantley for making these schemes. And you guys, man, hopefully you had fun up there. I know Carlos had some cool things going on up in the booth, so I can't wait to watch that stream.
Yes, sir. All right, well, that's Johnny Thomas. He comes home with a top 5 finish here tonight.
All right, and I believe we have one more interview lined up here in these closing stages here, and that's Mr. Corey Lindsay. Hey, Corey, how's it going? You had a very a good points night for you here tonight, but talk about the contact that happened earlier with Peyton Lytle. Take us in the driver's perspective of Corey Lindsay.
Well, it's unfortunate that it went like that. I hate to wreck, one of Kyle's cars. I like Kyle, he's a nice guy. But you can go back and watch that replay, and I don't necessarily think that the 56 was racing with the right amount of etiquette that you should have. And I got beside him. I tried doing the best I could there. It's a tough racetrack to pass at. And it just got to the point where I needed to not get pushed around anymore. And we saw what happened. It's unfortunate because I don't want to race people like that. I don't even care about where I finish at anymore. It just one of those things. It's one of those things that just makes this not fun to do anymore.
And you talk about it's a tough track to race, a tough track to pass at for sure. And you started 22nd on the day, so you've been passing cars left and right probably all day to get up to 6th place. Overall, tell me about your day though. It just seemed like the car was a handle of a struggle. Pit road at times looks like for other drivers there was a big miscue on many big name drivers in this league. Talk to me about your day from 22nd.
It was pretty shitty from lap 1 on. Just trying to get what I could out of it. And then there at the end, I guess guys, they weren't thinking. They should have stayed out so they could have got a lap back. I took advantage of that. I got 6th somehow. I wasn't expecting that. But I guess down the line it won't matter how you got it. You just finished 6th.
All right, and talk about next week. We're heading to Richmond International Raceway. How do you feel about your chances on trying to get a good finish at Richmond? Because I know you're pretty good. You like the track Iowa, and that's relatively similar to Richmond. How do you feel about your chances down there in Richmond?
We'll have to see how it goes with the weather and some other driver etiquette things. We'll have to see what happens. I'll take what I can get and move on to the next one.
All right, Corey. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Best of luck next week in Richmond.
Hey, thank you.
That was Corey Lindsay, who gets a solid 6th place finish here tonight at the Too Tough to Tame Darlington Raceway. But hey, Justin, let's go ahead and do the unofficial race results here and get our final thoughts and sponsors to thank. So Cameron Rich goes to victory lane here in Darlington. He puts his name on the historical, towards other names on the historical trophy. Samuel Close finishes in 2nd. Justin Krasinski finishes in 3rd. Luis Salmasso finishes in 4th. Johnny Thomas rounding out the top 5 on the tail end of the lead lap. First car 1 lap down. Corey Lindsay in 6th. Matt Hackathorn in 7th. Kyle Hanshaw comes away with 8th. Nick Miller finishes in 9th after starting 24th on the day. So solid top 10 for Team Blurry of Corey and Nick. Chad Brown finishes in the top 10 in 10th place there. Justin?
Yes, sir. Tate Lytle going to come home 11th here tonight. Brent Miller will come home 12th, and that's about everybody who finished the race under the checkered flag. Peter Schwartz going to come home 13th. You can see there 39 laps down. Drew Eisenman will finish 14th. Levi Zielinski 15th. Chuck Sweeting will finish in the 16th position. Richard Hines 17th. Kevin Finn will finish 18th. Dylan Hickey 19th. And Jordan Teal will round out the top 20.
Finishing blackjack position tonight, Mike Stevens, 21st. David Wilson will finish in 22nd. Paul Ross, after starting in the top 10, has found the wall and took it behind the wall, finishes 23rd. Wade Lear finishes 24th after a good qualifying position of 8th. And rounding out the top 25 car field is Stephen Kettman. Justin, final thoughts on what we've seen today here at Darlington and your thoughts on Richmond next week.
Well, it was a long and grueling night for sure. It kind of shows when only 5 cars finish on the lead lap and only 12 cars finish the race. But it was a very entertaining and exciting race nonetheless, and it leaves one guy at the top really, really, unless someone else wins, it kind of solidifies the top 12 that are going to advance to the playoffs. See if someone can't try something crazy at Richmond and get that win and try and knock Chad Brown out. But looks like at the moment our field is set for the playoffs here.
More than likely, the field is set for the playoffs unless somebody below that off line can get a win to arc themselves into the playoffs. And the playoffs, one more race left until the playoffs. We got Richmond next week, Monday, August 13th, 2018. 200 laps around Richmond. It's going to be an exciting one for sure. A couple of sponsors to thank here tonight. First and foremost, the series sponsor, RaceKings. Thanks for sponsoring 3 Wide Racing's Cup Series. Appreciate it so much. Also, thank you to the Pole Award, the Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award. Thank you for sponsoring the Pole Award this season. And I do believe, Justin, you have the track cams.
Yes, sir. As always, these cameras tonight were provided by Track Cams for Gourmet. You can find more information and download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. And one more thanks to give out. Most of the schemes you saw here tonight were made by Paul Ross Designs. So we want to thank them for some of the schemes we saw out here tonight, and it was definitely quite the cool field that we saw here tonight.
And also got to thank the organizer, Corey Lindsay, for organizing 3 Wide Racing League and its drivers for putting on such a good event each week, should I say. Also, thank you to the team tonight, Justin and Carlos. They do an awesome job each and every single week. Be sure to join us next week for the final regular season race at Richmond International Raceway. And also, towards the end of the month, we begin the RaceKings Cup Series playoffs on August 27th, which takes place at the Milwaukee Mile. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is Justin Kolb. And in the production truck, Carlos Acosta. We will see you next week at Richmond.